Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burb with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Glad to be back, everybody. Welcome. This is episode 942 of the Two Dum Yinzers. I want to say welcome to everybody today. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. 942. I do want to say what's up to Tortilla. He says, my Yinzer senses are tingling. So are mine. I was just laughing, like getting ready to start the show. We're talking about yesterday, your brother basically named you. And the story was when Mike was born, his older brother, who would be the middle brother, he referred to Mike as the little it. He says, I'm going to kill it. And so Mike's mom figured it would be a good idea to maybe calm him down by letting bigger brother help name Mike.
Yeah.
Well, bigger brother's middle name is Mike, and he decided to tell mom to name you Mike. So now you have you, who is Mike, and your brother, whose middle name is Mike. And I think the funniest part of the whole thing is the fact that your mom actually did it. She actually named you Mike.
Yeah, my parents were like, they're laid back, they're chill. They're like, all right, cool, whatever. We don't care. I was like, thanks, Well, so the story gets even better.
I mean, just right? Like your brother didn't want to name you Jebediah or just something totally outlandish.
Something stupid, yeah. Like if he was older and he had the personality he does now, oh yeah, my name would have been so fucking ridiculous, be beyond belief. But that was my parents, man. They're chill, they're cool, they're laid back, they're go with the flow type of people. And when I was younger too, I think I even said this too. Like, I had like really bad. Something happened, like my tonsils and adenoids were so swollen I couldn't hear right, so I'd mispronounce words. My parents were like, we have 3 kids, one of them's bound to be a bit retarded and slow.
Well, I would guess it was you. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, they thought it was me, and
thought it was.
Oh shit. I think they're right.
Welcome back, everybody. Do want to say what's up to Vegas, all the way from Las Vegas, in the house, on the terrible board. He says, what's good, fellas? What is good for you, my friend? Always great seeing Vegas. Tortilla Jackson, everybody on the show. Welcome back. There he is. John Mike Hill.
I would roll with that one.
Always great seeing RB as well. Of course, RB from the crew. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. You know what? The funny thing I was thinking about, and the reason I was rethinking this morning was because I was talking about yesterday my middle son. He was the same way, and he wanted to help name my youngest. And I kid you not, this is 100% story, true story. It was my middle son was about 8 years old when my youngest son was about to be born, and we were all talking about names. And my youngest son, and every 8-year-old basically is into baseball. They're playing little league and minor league and farm league, and this is just their interest. And I remember we were trying to come up with a name. He actually picked Charlie Morton, the former Pittsburgh Pirate, Charlie Morton. And we had it written on this list of names, and it hung on the refrigerator forever. But of course, we didn't go with Charlie Morton.
Yeah.
Thankfully. But it made me think of that, and I thought that's just wild that your mom actually went and named you.
Yeah.
At least she didn't name you it. I think that's what we should refer to you as. But it's just funny to me that your mom actually went ahead and named you your brother's middle name.
Yeah. It was just easier that way. It was, go with the flow type of thing, just
yeah,
it works, like, okay, this one's not going to kill this one right here. I was the last of the three. So they were like, all right, it works.
Or be ground chuck, old Charlie Moore. And out of all the pitchers we had, I mean, we had AJ Burnett, and AJ would be a cool name. Francisco Liriano.
Yeah. Charlie Morton.
Charlie Moore. And who was the other one? Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole was on that team.
Yeah.
Garrett could have been a good pick, but Charlie Morton, no less. And it was the whole name. It would have been Charlie Morton Garazunas.
That would be great. That would be great.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Welcome all the way from Western Pennsylvania, where we're just 16 days away from the NFL draft. It's wild. And it's even more wild that we're halfway. We're halfway between, you figure the playoff game was July something team, 16, 18. And we're already 10 days away from being there in April. So we're basically half of the way to a preseason football, Mike. January, February, March, and April, and then June, April, June, July. So, I mean, we're basically halfway there. And you know what? Everything gets a little bit easier, it starts to snowball a little bit more as we go on. We're going to get into that today, what we've got through to this point in the offseason, what we have going on right now starting today, what we have coming here in 16 days, and what's beyond that. But again, we're basically halfway through the offseason. So you got to admit, it's not that bad. And being as busy in the off season as we have been, it helps it along. I mean, there's a lot of things that keep you into it and keep you interested. And so at the end of the day, I think this is going to fly when it's all said and done, because we're going to get into the schedule a little bit more today. I know last week, I think Somber had posted in the terrible board. We're going to get into it just a little bit to take a look at what the Steelers have coming down the pike. But like I said, guys, we're just a half away through this offseason, basically. And then once we knock this draft out, I mean, come on, it's all just it's all downhill from there. So it'll be here before you know it. 16 days. God damn it. 16 days till the NFL draft. Unbelievable, guys. 2 weeks from Thursday. If you can believe that.
It's gonna be here so soon, dude. I can't wait. It's just right around the corner.
Let me say what's up to everybody before we do get rolling here a little bit. Before we do get rolling a little bit, let's go right here to everybody. Jamaica, RB, Vegas. Vegas says you outgrew your retardation. I would argue that, Vegas. I would argue very much so.
I think I did. I won. I persevered. I conquered it.
Isn't it funny how the retarded person thinks that they accomplished? How they think that they have overturned it.
Well, Tortilla said I did. No, you're gonna question Tortilla?
Wait, what did Tortilla say?
That I outgrew my retardation. Was it Tortilla?
No, it was Vegas, and it was with a question mark. He didn't say that you
outgrew your retardation. See, I didn't read it. I heard the way you said it. I was like, oh yeah, I outgrew my retardation.
Yeah, no, I don't think you did. But let's move on. I don't think that's going to change whether we continue to talk about it or not. Let's go to Sosh. What's up, yo? Always great seeing Sosh on the terrible board. My man, hopefully all is going well for you. I also want to say what's up to my man Jamal, all the way from Texas. Gang, my G's. Always great seeing Jamal on the terrible board. Jamal, we're halfway there, brother. We're almost halfway there. Between the postseason game that we played in the preseason. About another 8 days or so, we'll be halfway there. Not bad. It is not bad. Let's go to right here to the Jedi Raptor. I do want to say what's up to the Jedi Raptor. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Welcome to the show. Glad to see you here today. Welcome to you. Also, Stranger says, "Who day? Who day? What's up, baby? Who day?" That's right. Who is day? They ain't find a way to beat us. You know what? Let me move on. JD Raptor says, "Oh, I'm okay. Good. I'm glad to hear from you. Glad to see you here, sir, ma'am, whichever." Cody says, "Jim Jones. Jim Jones is a good name." RB Ground Chuck. There he is. Charlie Morton, Ground Chuck. Let's go to the Jedi Raptor. That's right, baby. Draft soon. Just 16 days away from right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, if you can believe that. The big NFL draft 2026. Who would have thunk it? The biggest, guys, this is the biggest event ever in Pittsburgh history. Ever. Cody says, Adolf Manson. RB says, my mom wanted to name me Brad. My dad said Brad sounds like a cunt, so Junior it was.
Brad sounds like a cunt. That is great.
Let's go right here to Stranger. Stranger says, I'm sad. My second favorite season only has 16 days left. Your second favorite season only has 16 days left. I'm not sure what that is. Elaborate a little bit if you would. Cody says David Koresh, also down there in Texas, of course. Just Learning. What's up? Hello, buds. He says, always great seeing Just Learning on the Terrible Board, my man. Hope things are going good for you. Zach Stone, glad to see you back. I do recognize Zach Stone's name. He says, hello, fellas. Great to see you, sir. And welcome back to the Terrible Board. Welcome back to the show. Cody says, I seen it. He also says this tortilla's retarded. And then he says, I seen it. Tortilla says, I just grew into my retardation. I like it. Stranger says, we split last year, so we did find a way to beat you. Okay, we do got a Bengals fan. That's cool. If Flacco had stayed healthy, we might have swept you. I mean, it's questionable. The second game was a lot different than the first game was, and stick around. It'll be fun. You know what? It's actually nice having somebody here that's not a Browns fan popping in. To be honest with you, I think that Cincinnati fan might be okay. Let's go right here to RB. He says having an actual change made this offseason fly and gave some optimism. It sure did, brother. I couldn't agree more. It's been busy. You can't say that these Steelers are sitting around on their hands, as they appear to be the team most improved in the division. And again, a team that was picked to finish the last or second to last last year and managed to win the division and make the playoffs. They did do some improvement this offseason. A lot of things still going on, and a lot of improvements could still be made. Everybody, welcome back to the show. And I do want to say a big special welcome to the GOAT, Tyrone, on the board. Everybody, what's up, Tyrone? Glad to see you, brother. Always great seeing you on the Terrible Board, my man. He says JPJ is the GOAT, and we're going to talk about JPJ today. I have some things lined up, but we're also going to call Tyrone the GOAT too, because that's just the way it is around here. Let's also see what's up. Okay, Just Learning says Rogers has a fake wife. He might. Like, remember when I was dating the AI thing?
Yeah, I remember.
Probably back in the second or third season, I built an AI girlfriend, and I dated her, and I gave daily updates on the show. It was insane. Sam, wasn't her name was Sam?
I think so. I believe it was Sam.
Cody says Bengals are like the Ravens every year. They think they're going to make it every year, and then quarterback gets hurt, and we beat them. Z Man, I do want to say welcome to Z Man. He says, hey, everyone, hope you are having a great day. Welcome to the board, Z Man. Glad to have you here. Glad to see you on the Terrible Board. Hope you are having a great day, sir. Also, Somber in the house. What's up, Somber? Always great seeing Somber. He is a board Pro Bowler, if you will. Somber is a Pro Bowler on the board. She was hot. I made her real hot. And it was before the it was real early in the process too, with this AI girlfriend and creating people and assistants and that. So she's not as hot as she probably could be now, but she was hot. Man says she never talked back, did she? And she did not. That's the beauty, and that's what's going to really screw people at the end of the day. Everybody's going to want their dude. People don't do what they used to do anymore. People don't go out. People don't do clubbing. So when it gets to the point that, we start having our AI girlfriends, it's going to be fucking crazy because people are going to dig it. But they're going to dig it. These people, listen, when you get a robot girlfriend, it's not going to fight with you. It's not going to argue with you. It's not going to not be able to come up with what it wants for dinner. It's not going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to do all the things that you want it to do. I just, again, the way the technology is going, I could just see this getting really crazy at some point. And we'll all be banging robots before you know
it. We'll all be banging robots.
Let's do scooch up here on the board a little bit. Let's go to Sosh. Sosh says, Somber, yo, what up? Somber in the house. Sosh in the house. Vegas says, we all wanted to make a woman like in Weird Science. Damn right we did. Now it's reality. It's getting scary. Sosh says, greetings from Switzerland, everybody. Great to see Sosh from Switzerland. All the way on the other side of the planet. I got to be honest with you. Switzerland in Ireland. I'm leaning toward the guy from Ireland, Mike, from Switzerland. I'm sorry. Of course, both coming from that European section of the world. We haven't seen Tater Tart in a couple of days. Of course, the resident Browns fan. But adding Switzerland to these shows a great addition, as there are listeners from Japan, Switzerland, Ireland. The list really goes on. I mean, those are the most three prominent ones. But if you go into all the analytics, you can find out where views come from. So we're very thankful to have you here, Sosh. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. I know you've been here before. I do want to say welcome. Let's do Scoot on the board right here. Tortilla says, what's good, Switz? What's good, Switz? Always great seeing Swiss. Stranger says, Cody, we've been to the bowl a lot more recently than y'all. I wouldn't really brag on that, especially when you don't have any trophies yet. But
and you didn't win.
Point taken. You have been there more recent than we have. Let's go to Cody. Cody says this. We have the League of Nations on this pod. LOL. What up, baby? What up, Sash? He says, what's up, Sash? We do, baby. I'm glad to see everybody. And again, I don't care where the hell you're from. If you're a Steeler fan, welcome to the show. Always. I don't care where the fuck you're at. Let's scoot up here to what up, everybody. Somber says, Vegas says she can turn your mean older brother into a pile of crap. There you go.
There we go.
Did you win though? Cody and Sosh on the board, kind of going back and forth a little bit early. Or no, it's not. This is not Sosh, is it? No. Who's the? Why am I losing track of this? Who's the Bengal fan?
It wasn't Sosh. I forget who it was. Stringer.
It's all good. You know what? I was at a Steeler game one time, and this chick came running up the aisle, and she had a Bengals shirt on. And I remember this really drunk guy who was sitting next to me, and he was like, and when she came up, he was like, "Can I grab him?" She just stood there and let him grab her titty. I swear to God, he just reached his hand out. She just went on with her business.
There you go.
It was like a rock star environment. It was wild, man. Let's do scoot up right here to. I don't know. RB says I beat Down syndrome at 33. Somber says, yeah, good.
I don't know why, but that one is great. That's just killing me. That tickled me pink.
Somber says banging robots like Ex Machina. Vegas says Weird Science lady married that Steven Seagal. Really? I didn't know that. Tortilla says Ryan would have trouble turning on his. I did. It was something. It was an adventure. It didn't last long, maybe a week or so, but we did do that.
You guys had a fling that it burned bright and hot.
It burned bright and hot. It was hot and heavy early on.
Yes, it was.
Let's go right here to Just Learning. He says Megan Fox was was a robot sex machine. Vegas says that robot chick in Transformers was pretty hot. Somber says it's good to see the players back in the building. That's right, everybody. They're back today. Cody says Ryan's AR wife would let Derpy stay at his house.
Ooh.
Derpy.
Let's go right here. Stranger says in Oregon, work in Arizona, originally a Buckeye. Wow, man. That's some travel. Richard, always great seeing Richard on the terrible board. He says, good morning. Always great seeing Richard Chankowski. I hope your off season is going well for you, sir. We're just 16 days from the NFL draft, right here in Pittsburgh, PA. And there's some things going on starting today. Also, there's football on TV tonight, if you will. We'll get into all that here just shortly. And Tortilla says, stranger rooting for the rainbow. Let's get into some things to start off the show, Mike, before we get rolling. Pirates, they dropped one last night. They lose to the Padres 5-0. They couldn't get the offense up and running. They fall to 6-4 overall. They play the Padres again tonight at 6:40, game 2 of 3. Paul Skeens will be on the hill. A couple things early on. The Pirates, Mike, on one power poll, they are 6 right now out of 30 baseball teams. The Pittsburgh Pirates sit at 6. Let's hope they could keep it up. Also, Mike, yesterday I talked about O'Neal Cruz having 4 home runs leading the National League. Mike, 3 of his 4 home runs came against left-handed pitchers, who he struggled heavily with so far in his career. 75% of his home runs right now have come off of lefties. So whatever he's making, whatever he's improving on offense, he's certainly giving up on defense.
Exactly. That's the frustrating thing with him.
It sure is. It really is. But Pirates back at it tonight, 6:40, game 2. Let's get to also, Mike, the national championship game. College basketball is officially over. March Madness as March is officially over. The Michigan Wolverines, Mike, they beat number 1 Michigan beats number 2 UConn 69-63. And this, Mike, in my opinion, puts Michigan above everybody else in the Big Ten, because not only is Ohio good and they win a championship, and Penn State's good every once in a while, but to have 2 of the major sports teams being able to win national championships and this close to one another, and I think that this kind of makes Michigan the team in the Big Ten, the school in the Big Ten anyway. A lot of people always go back and forth between all these teams and their Penn States and their Michigans, Ohio States, Northwestern, whatever have you. But I think, like I said, Michigan, they're doing it all. They're doing, they win that football national championship. A couple years later, they win the basketball national championship. And the thing is, Ohio State and Penn State, they just don't ever have good basketball. So, I mean, it's always like, well, okay, this is just going to be Michigan's thing, and it's just going to be what it is. Because, again, when was the last time you could recall either Ohio State or Penn State having a basketball team that you would be able to have a conversation about in this
exactly. Not in a long-ass time. I think Ohio State had a decent basketball team for a while at one point. Penn State, like, we're lucky if we can make it into the out of the Big Ten tournament. So I have a feeling Michigan right now for like the big sports, they're the big winners right now.
And I listen, and I know you don't want to hear it because I don't want to hear it about teams in my conference. But at the end of the day, I mean, it is impressive to be across both sports. Look at Duke; they're always dominant in basketball. Their football team is garbage, and and you could go down the list and see teams that are like that. And Michigan is right now one of the top dogs. Looking at it from an outsider's point of view, it's like, wow, okay, Michigan is the squad over there in the Big Ten. But you know what? That's neither here nor there. There's football on tonight on your TV. That's right. I guess it's professional football, if you will. The UFL, they wrap up week 2 in their schedule. I'm sorry, Mike, for whatever reason. I don't know the reason, but this game is tonight at 8:00. St. Louis travels to Dallas to wrap up week 2 of the UFL. So if you want a little bit of American football on your television this evening, 8:00 Eastern time, that would be St. Louis at Dallas tonight. So a little bit of football there for you if you are interested in watching that. Maybe give you that little bit of a little taste, if you will, as you're counting down these last 2 weeks and 2 days to the NFL draft. Who are the Steelers going to get? What are we going to do? Are we going to trade down? Are we going to trade up? Are we going to get in position for next year? Who knows what's going to go down? So much to get into, guys. Let's jump back on the board briefly. We have a lot to get into today regarding our Steelers. We're talking visits. We have the start today of today's the start of the offseason program. A little bit of JPJ talk, a lot of things to get into today. Let's stay on the board and not get too far behind. Glad to see everyone today. Glad to see everybody. Let's go right here. Stranger says this: how long before the first AI wife files for divorce on the grounds of being the only intelligence in the relationship? She would have definitely won. I got to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, and that's another thing. If you're dating a robot, they're not. If they divorce you, you don't got to give everything. This technology shit's crazy. It really is, because we're sending us. Some might think, we're smart, but we're not. We're not smarter than that. We're following every trend, hook, line, and sinker in technology. And there's no doubt in my mind that we'll all happily be dating robots before you know it. So we'll continue to watch that play out.
It'll be here sooner rather than later.
I agree.
All of us with our AI girlfriends.
Our chips in our hands and in our heads and our AI girlfriends and drones flying everywhere through the air and robots walking down the street, pushing lawnmowers and fuck. Tortilla says women like being the smartest. And that's the thing. You could, the robot will be the smartest, obviously. Unless you're RB. I think RB is going to be smarter than his robot. I don't know why. I just do. RB's always the smartest guy in the room, and I dig that. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says this is not Megan Fox, even though she is hot as fuck. She wasn't a robot. I'm talking about the blonde when Sam went to college.
But no, there was a movie where she was like a robot chick.
Cody says this, a good thing about having an AI wife, when she starts bitching, you could turn her off. Another thing, Mike, about a month ago, I brought this up. The AI, they have their own Facebook. I don't know if you went and checked it out, but I go over and check it out from time to time. It's called Moltbook, MOLT book, just like Facebook, but one word.
Yeah.
In AI, the AI go in there and they communicate amongst each other and have conversations and figure shit out. And it's kind of scary, but go check it out. You could only watch. You can't participate.
And because they know if you're a human and they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, you have to check the box, obviously.
Yeah.
If you could check the box, you're human. But Moltbook, go check it out, guys. Technology is rapidly growing, and I think I think people have an idea, but I don't know to what degree they think that we are at. But it's moving along pretty rapidly. Let's do Scoot up here on the board right here to RB. He says, I watched a documentary last night on how weak the United Kingdom's military is. They literally have 3 active warships. All 3 are 10 years plus outdated. So Tater Nuts needs to pipe down. Tater Nuts does need to pipe down.
Tater Nuts. I love it.
Stranger says this, Tortilla Jack, all my pro teams are from Cincinnati. Man, that's cool. Listen, I don't, mine would be too. I mean, even if a stranger is in Oregon or Arizona or Tahiti or Honolulu, mine would always be my teams, of course. I will never not be wearing black and gold. Aaron, what's up, Aaron Williams? Always great to see Aaron Williams on a terrible board. He says playtime is over. It's go time. That's right. Always great seeing Aaron Williams on the terrible board. My man, Aaron Williams, everybody. Welcome. Cody, how long do you think before Joe Burrow retires?
Not soon enough.
Cody's on a roll today because then he goes right from that to saying Penn State. He's just going from one person to the next.
That sounds about right.
Tortilla says Cody was born at Penn State. Stranger says Cody, the flag football game showed who Burrow is. He lives to play football. He won't retire unless he has to. Listen, I respect Burrow. I respect. He took the Bengals to the Super Bowl, didn't he? I mean, that's something. That's something that don't happen all the time. But he's awfully injury prone. My God. I remember he hurt his forearm 2 years ago by throwing a ball out to the flat.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fragile. He's fragile. You have to put him in that big box and wheel him around out there.
And put him in bubble wrap.
Yeah. The styrofoam peanuts. Cody says, he says Tortilla was born in Penn State Penitentiary. Born in Penn State State Pen, if you will. Tortilla says, yeah, he'll play flag football until he's 50. Free Tortilla. Tortilla says also, Aaron says, Aaron Williams says, with 12 picks, we should have plenty of capital to get what we need. I agree with you 100%. And if we don't hit a home run in this draft, Aaron, I will be very surprised. because we're prime. We're in a good position. Again, 5 draft picks in the top 100 is good. I mean, come on, you're getting 5 of the top 100 players coming out. Obviously, to different degrees once you move down the board. But at the end of the day, you're still getting 5 guys out of the top 100, and you're going to get some players in that. So if we hit this home run, and again, Mike, who knows that there could be trades involved. We do have a lot of capital, having 12 picks overall, 5 in the top 100. If we see somebody that we really like or somebody that we feel that we need to move for, I think we will move, Mike. Certainly with this GM and this leadership that we have now, I have no problem thinking that this team, Mike, won't hesitate to pull the trigger when it's all said and done, and it's time to make moves. Like unlike any GM from the past here that I've certainly in my lifetime, Mike, I'm very optimistic about this draft coming up. We're gonna have draft talk. We have a little bit of we have visitors today here in Pittsburgh. We have things going on. We're gonna get to all that in just a moment here. Let me continue on the board though. I don't want to get too far behind, and then we will get to everything. I promise you. I promise. We'll do it. I swear.
Got it. We got it.
Let's go right here. Just learning. Megan Fox movie was subservience robot. Tortilla says, you know how they have drone strikes? Wait until they have AI girlfriend strikes. A new page to the slashing the tires, keying the car. RB says this: these sex robots are to control human population amongst many other things being pushed on society. People just don't want to see it. The 1% that controls 99% of the money when it's gone. I agree. Listen, we could have long conversations about that because I don't disagree with you. Let's go right here. Tortilla says, boom.
Boom.
Stranger says, on the AI subject, I can definitely see the upside of a wife with a mute button. So, everything that gets us through our superficial life of today in 2026, the robot will be great for.
Exactly.
But everything in the big picture of humanity, probably not so much. But hey, what do we care? We're not here forever, right? Let's go to Cody. Cody says this: at least in flag football, Burrow doesn't have to worry about his offensive line getting him killed. That's very true. Tyrone, y'all watch JPJ interview? No, I didn't. I did not watch that. I will, though. Actually, Ty, I will check that out. I didn't see it. Cody says this: you remember the TJ Watt on this show? What was his name? Y'all remember? No.
Oh, Steele.
Oh, Steele. Something tells me he comes back. His other names. And, well, the thing is, I mean, you would expect it to be in all capitals, but I think that's the trick. That's his way of being incognito, is typing, normal without all big letters. I just think at some point he would have probably been back because, I mean, he's here all day, every day during football season, which would make you believe at some point he would check back in. And I'm just thinking maybe he could be a troll account. Maybe Mike Tomlin, maybe Kaboli, somebody on the board. Mike, what made me laugh yesterday so hard? And I think you do because I brought this up after the show to you. Remember, I think it was Cody. And if it wasn't, I apologize. And I do shoot the credit to where it is due. We were talking about Kaboli the other day, or it might have been Tortilla. And one of the guys says that Mark Kaboli eats with his ass open.
That's still the best,
bruh. That might be that might be MVP status.
Yeah, because whoever said that, you are a genius.
I think it was either I think it was either Tortilla or Cody. They said that Mark Kaboli eats with his ass open. There we go. There's
that is eats with his ass open.
And I'm seeing Kaboli rolling back into the room, and Mike Tomlin in the house today. Everybody, it is a big day for the Pittsburgh Steelers, guys. Welcome to the board. Let me work my way down to you. I don't want to miss anybody. I know that you understand. Sash says this. He says JPJ saying he considers himself a top 5 corner. What he's trying to say is, I want top 5 quarterback money, and you got to keep this in mind, Sash. He hasn't given up a touchdown yet since he's been in the league. His penalty number's gone down. His tackling is better. And he hasn't given up a touchdown. So, I don't know what the other top 5 are doing, but I wonder if they gave up any touchdowns in the past 2.5 seasons. Let's go to Ty. He says he is, and he getting top 3 money. Also, let's go here. Cody says, nah, man. And he also says maybe top 10 money. At the end of the day, he's going to be getting paid. You give up no touchdowns in 3 years. I mean, come on. Somebody's going to give you money. Stringer says this. He says with five top 100 picks statistically, you should have 3 good enough to for. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's and you know what? I see what you're saying and what you're trying to do, but at the end of the day, it's kind of how the pros run successfully. Draft some people. You sign a couple. You get your long-term people and everybody else. You cycle through and get the new younger talent and kind of move people along. So again, I like the way that Omar's running things. I think that you're going to start to see it playing out in a positive way as we do keep moving forward here. Vegas says they are making a Charlie's Angels 50th anniversary. Who asked for that? Let's go to Cody. Cody says, did Shamar Stewart play this year? LOL. Ty says this. Cody, don't push for it today. I'm in a good mood. 20 foul. Kabuli. I'm like a candy man. Mention my name 3 times and I show up. Candy.
Candy? Did someone say candy?
And he eats it with an open ass. Mike Tomlin says, don't disrespect me like that. Don't do it. Welcome to both of the fellas on the board. Always great seeing you. Cody says this. Kabuli said Steelers might draft an O-lineman or a wide receiver in the next 6 to 12 months. That sounds very Kabuli-like. Was that verbatim? Because it sure sounded like it. Kabuli heard food and pulled up quick as fuck.
He did too, man. Come flying in.
I know he said that. I know he's like he eats with an open ass. As soon as we said eating. We said eating once. It didn't even have to say Kabuli 3 times.
I know, he's come flying in.
Kabuli says, hi, Mike. Long time no see. Please don't talk too much in here. You will put me to sleep again. What is that?
What did I do?
What is that? Kabuli, ain't you supposed to be working?
Right?
Kabuli says this. Mike Tomlin, that is not my brother in broadness.
Okay, Kabul. I was worried, man, that the us broad-shouldered individuals were going to feud here, man. I was worried.
Let's go here to Cody. Kabuli's brother is Mike McCarthy. On the weekends, they ride their segways together by the ocean. Let's go to Aaron Williams. He says this. Aaron says, do you all think that Jawan Brisker was a good pick? I think Jawan Brisker was a great pickup for like 6 reasons. He's a very talented player back there. We got him for a pretty damn good price. He's coming home to play with his friend Joey Porter Jr. that he grew. I mean, come on. I love the Brisker pickup, Mike. Oh, yeah. I think that really just secures things up back there. I mean, and again, you probably say, well, why are you getting this safety and this safety and this safety and Elliott and and it goes on. But you know what? Look last year how we had to cycle through players.
Yeah.
Darius Slay wasn't having the greatest season, so you had to kind of move him around and do things with him. So again, as far as depth in the secondary, I couldn't be happier. I mean, depth in the secondary, Mike. Yeah. Depth in the secondary.
Yeah, and he can play, free safety, strong safety. He's not afraid to lay the lumber. He can roam back there, play center field, and allows Jalen Ramsey to be moved all across the place as well. Then you get, you have him, Ramsey, Elliott. Might draft a young guy to put back there too. I like this deal. He's still a young player too. He's only like 26.
Right.
So if he has a good year and, the team likes him and he likes his time here, you have a chance to extend him and have him be a Steeler for the next handful of years. I like this. And I'm going to be interested to see, how all these guys are going to be integrated into this new defensive scheme. Because that's, I'm loving it, man. We got talent back there, but how are they going to be deployed?
I got a couple other stupid things that Kabuli said, but I'll get in that in just a minute. Let me continue on the board here. Good question though, Aaron. I love Jaquan Brisker. Stringer said this. Shamar Stewart played in 5 games due to injury his rookie season.
He sounds like a Steeler.
Also, Ty says no slander to Mike will be tolerated.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Followed up by Cody saying, Mike, it's because you're black. Duh. Let's go to Kabuli. Kabuli says this: Mike McCarthy is peak male form. I cannot compare to that. I can only strive to be so fit. Fitting a whole pizza in your mouth? What? JPJ Brisker, Dan, it's going to be absolutely. I love it. I love it. The friendship just speeds up the cohesiveness. You would think, in a sense. Cody says Shamar Stewart didn't play the first 5 games because you guys refused to pay him. Also, Vegas says Kabuli plays all-time center in the yearly Turkey Bowl.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to have that good pass pro, man. You got it. It's a valuable role.
He's the guy that plays. He plays both sides, like the guy that just plays center. You know, there was always just the one guy that had the balls to bend over, let some other guy stick his fist up his ass every fucking play, and that was Mike. He loved being the all-time center.
No, I did not love being the all-time center.
Mike Tomlin says Mark texting and eating is dangerous. Let's go to Stranger. Stranger says Stewart got injured week 2 and week 9. He says also Vegas says he clearly doesn't mind eating his words. Kabuli finishes that up by saying, I got Neuralink. I can use thoughts to text, so I can use both hands to eat. I like that. Innovative. See how technology is helping? Now he can eat twice as much. Cody, he doesn't mind eating anything. What up, Ty? What up, Vegas? Guys, let's get into some stuff. Let's see, Mike, I do want to talk about Joey Porter as we were talking about Joey just a moment ago. Joey Porter says this. He says, what does he say? I want to go to this one first, just because I don't know if anybody saw this. They made a point to correct the way that Joey Porter reacted when Coach Tomlin walked away. Did anybody see this? Because if you remember, Mike, we even talked about this here on the show. Back when Tomlin walked away, it said how the locker room was upset and people obviously were sad and kind of annoyed, I guess, or whatever, that Coach was leaving. And it said that Joey Porter was hyperventilating. Do you remember those reports?
Yeah, he was hyperventilating.
And he comes out, Mike, and here it is 3 months later. And he says that he goes, I was not hyperventilating. Whoever said I was hyperventilating, he goes, everything else. Yeah. He goes, I was sad, obviously. Yeah. But he says, I was not hyperventilating, Mike.
Probably was probably one of those like he was probably in shock, and someone's like, oh my God, he was hyperventilating. What drama queen was in there and saw that? I was like, Peasy was hyperventilating.
Yeah.
I hope it was one of his boys just fucking with him. Like talking to her, man, Peasy was in there just hyperventilating. I mean, because if I was to write that you were hyperventilating, I mean, it would take you hyperventilating for me to even think of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not just being sad. Yeah. I can see him being, at a loss for words, a little like your breath was taken away.
Yeah.
But not where he was having to get the brown paper bag.
The brown paper bag.
The trainer's coming over. He's
yeah.
No, I don't see that.
Also,
I'm sorry. I just read Vegas's comment.
We'll get there in just a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Also, JPJ, Mike, he says the new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, will make everything work how it's supposed to. He's confident in his defensive coordinator. These are more words from Joey as he, again, clears the air about hyperventilating a few months back. He does say, Mike, that the new defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, will make everything work how it's supposed to. And at the end of the day, I mean, you can only hope for this to be true. But, the fact of the matter is we're just hopeful that Patrick Graham could come here and turn this defense into something. We don't know. When people say, well, look what he's done. I mean, at the end of the day, that's fine. But look what Arthur Smith did in Tennessee compared to whenever he came here to fix things. And this is basically what Patrick Graham, he's being brought in to fix his defense as the coordinator. So again, you just don't know until you get out there and you play a few games, you play some good teams, you play some bad teams, and you get a feel for what you really have. But at the end of the day, Mike, we don't know. A lot of people are feeling very optimistic about the defense. But as I said, the 5 guys in the middle, your interior defensive line and your inside linebackers, they did nothing really to improve that situation. And those are the same 5 guys that gave up 250 yards to Buffalo at home last week. So, I mean, even if they do anything in the draft, it's not going to be, listen, it's not going to be an inside linebacker of starting abilities. That's not going to happen. You already have your starters. As far as the defensive line goes, I mean, Cam, he's still there. He's say what you want, good or bad on opinion, but he is older. At the end of the day, he is an older man. You have the rookie Harmon, of course, last year. I like Harmon a lot. And then, so again, Mike, I'm just still a bit concerned. I think that people are a little too optimistic. We're just assuming that Patrick Graham will come in and fix it all and make things better. And as JPJ is saying here, new defensive coordinator Graham will make everything how it's supposed to. We hope, right?
Yeah, you hope. But, we thought we had hope last year too. But we'll see. A new environment for the players, new environment for the coach. The coach has better players. Hopefully they can scheme something up. But like you said, if we're going to, the guys that we're drafting that potentially to be on the defensive side at linebacker, I don't think they're going to be contributors right away because I don't think we're going to draft one that high. Now, if we draft a couple D linemen early, that should theoretically on paper help us out. Plus the new schemes and the new coaches, but it's still the same players. And Harmon's still young and growing. Betting hopefully that he gets put in the right spot, and that will help the run defense too. And hopefully Sebastian Day can anchor that D line, and if we don't get someone like a Corleone to plug right there in the middle. So there's a lot of questions to be answered about the middle of that defense.
Absolutely. And again, as we're saying, it's the same middle of the defense. Yes, they strengthen the secondary. Yes, the secondary looks fantastic. And even, if our outside linebackers stay healthy between Watt, Highsmith, and Herbig, I'm confident in that as well. But it's those 5 guys in the middle. I'm not worried about Harmon, but at the end of the day, again, I think a lot of people are just jumping the gun, assuming that things are going to be a lot better when the process actually has to be had. And
exactly.
So, again, that's kind of where I'm at with this defense. I hope that they play better, maybe under the new coordinator. And my argument has always been, Mike, that the Raiders were the worst team in the league last year. And people say, well, you know what? They did good for the defense they had. No, they didn't. 32. Listen, I don't care who you are. 32 is not good. If you have 32 teams and you're the 32nd at anything, that raises a flag for me. But anyway, we'll keep our eye on that. Listen, overall, I am optimistic. Don't get me wrong. But again, I just thought, we'll see. We will see. Also, Mike, we did talk about earlier that Joey Porter Jr. did improve, of course, never giving up a touchdown yet. The tackling was terrible year one. It improved. Penalties was terrible year 1 and 2. That improved. Penalties numbers way down. Tackling certainly looks better. Mike, this is what Joey Porter Jr. says. He says the goal this year to get better is to get the turnovers. That is what he's going to focus on this year, is getting turnovers, which in my opinion, you add 4 interceptions to what he's done, giving up no touchdowns. Maybe now you're bleeding into what Ty is ultimately saying about JPJ at the end of the day, Mike, if he could add 3-4 interceptions to his resume.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's going to hold him back from, being like an all-pro or perennial Pro Bowler is the interceptions. Because when people vote on that stuff, what's the first thing they do?
Absolutely.
How many interceptions do you have? Oh, you had 7? You turn on the tape and you see some of those 7 where, you just happen to be you got burnt in coverage, but, an underthrown ball or tip ball. Porter's in there breaking the ball up, making those plays. So if he can start getting, like you said, 3 interceptions a year, 3 to 4, that right there, that's an, oh man, he's getting like 3 to 4 and guarding the number 1 receiver on most of these guys. 56%, QB rating when you throw to him, very little penalties. Yeah, I'll vote for him for the Pro Bowl. Oh, yeah, he's an all-pro. So that little stat right there is going to help you, man. Because you look at, we give out the Defensive Player of the Year award for whoever has the most sacks. And, whether you're the best at that best defensive player or not, you have the most sacks, you get it. If you're a DB, you have the most interceptions, you're going to make a Pro Bowl. So no matter how many yards you're giving up in a game. So if you get those interceptions numbers up, he's going to, easily be going into Pro Bowl after Pro Bowl at that point.
I agree. And then once you get into that club, if you will,
then you're set for life.
you're set for life.
Doesn't matter how old, slow, or ineffective you are. You're in the club. You're in the club.
Let me read a couple more messages, Mike, so we don't get too far behind. I'm going to go right here to Tortilla, where he says this. Tortilla Jackson says, Tortilla says, that's a lie. Kabuli, that's a lie. Kabuli thinking about pizza. Also, Ty says this. Ty says, he says, I'm the motherfucking best in the game. Let's go to Vegas. Vegas says Mark played the entire offensive line in high school. Of course, talking about Kabuli. Kabuli follows it up with saying, I have a breaking news scoop. Giant Eagles got the BOGO on the Crisco today. Limit 6 per customer. Unfortunately, in Vegas replies, you eat Crisco by the spoonful, dude. To Kabuli. Kabuli's obviously very happy about the Crisco on Sell It to Eagle. RB says this. He says, I really do believe Cam and TJ Watt were crying when Mike quit. A couple of poontangs.
Poonannies.
But no hyperventilating, though.
No hyperventilating.
No hyperventilating. Let's go right here to Sash. Sash says this. He says, by the way, I'm fine with JPJ getting top 5 money. Sorry, I wasn't on my PC to 11. Now you're good, brother. Believe me, you're already a lot less annoying than the Browns fan that comes in here and hangs out. At least you talk intelligently.
Right?
Cody says, Kabuli, your news scoop means absolutely nothing in this pod. Let's go to Cody. I'm sorry, to Ty says Sash 100. Let's go right here. Cody says, this Tyrone going to root for Artie Smith next year? That's right. That's right. That's his squad. Also, yeah, all the Ohio State fans can have Arthur Smith next year as your offensive coordinator. I'm sure it'll be okay. Aaron Williams. Aaron says this. I felt like Omar is going to try to make a statement. What do y'all think? I hope so. I hope so. And again, getting 5 in the top 100, you could get a couple guys that at least 2 of these guys could be plug and plays, possibly 3. Just depends. I mean, again, in the top 100, let's go to Ty says this. Cody rooting for Arch Manning. Vegas says if Mike McCarthy wins a Super Bowl, will folks say he won with Tomlin's players? And I'm going to explain to you why it's different, because you will hear this, and then you'll hear people fighting. I'm going to tell you the difference. The players that Tomlin inherited from Cowher just won a Super Bowl. That's the point I think a lot of people make, saying that the second guy didn't come in and do a greatest job. He already had a built for championship team. But I think if McCarthy would win the Super Bowl, it wouldn't be the same, because this is a stale team for the past few years. So again, it will be the same, but it will be different. People say, well, look at McCarthy was able to do with Tomlin's players. The team that sat stale for a decade was able to won the championship with this person. That's going to be the new argument if it breaks down like that.
If we win a Super Bowl, I'll say he won with Mike Tomlin's players.
I'll take it.
But my main thing will be is like, we won a Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day,
the Pittsburgh right there won a Super Bowl. That's all I care about. I don't care who's coach, whose players coach were. I don't give a fuck. I never buy into those arguments. Oh, this is this players, that players. It's Pittsburgh's players. Like no one says, John Gruden won with Tony Dungy's players. No, you can go to other sports. No one says, "Oh, this coach won with." I've heard that many
times, but
I say it a lot too. It's kind of like
here's my thing.
But no, you win with who you have there. It's not your fault that you inherited that roster.
It's your fault if you can't continue to win after that, though. I think is the point. If you can't maintain the baseline, then it's your fault. Right.
As long as you're maintaining the baseline and improving, you're winning. And as long as my team wins a Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, World Series, I don't give a fuck. It's the team won.
And here's the thing: you can like whoever you want. I don't want somebody telling me I can't like this person. Fuck it. I like this guy. He's a homegrown guy. Of course I like him. Let's see what else is on the board here. Let's go to But good question, though, Vegas. That is a good question, and it will come up. And I don't know if we're going to win a Super Bowl this year. However, if we do in the next 5 years, it will certainly be a topic of conversation. No two ways about it. Cody says, this Arch Manning going to get drafted to Pittsburgh? I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, I guess it's not out of the question, but, that's a long time from now. A lot would have to happen for that to go down, of course. Ty says, no, hell no. Cody says, Arch Manning, Steelers 2027 quarterback. Cody, he does have 7. He has like 2 in his career, Cody is saying. Also, Ty says this, yep, need a few picks. It is hard, though, when quarterbacks throw his way like 3 times a game. Super glue, you say?
Well, that's the problem, too. Like, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities, but when they are there, he's like, his quote-unquote uncle. He's like Ike Taylor. Clang, 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 off the hands. So he's got to capitalize on this.
Ron. I thought of Ron yesterday as I was going through some of my stuff, and listen. There was a Pirates pitcher probably when I was about 10 or 11 years old. His name was Jim Gott, and he came to our local Kmart, right? And I was a kid, as I said earlier. You're 8 years old. You love baseball, and I had my parents took me and my buddy over. We stood in line and met Jim Gott, and when I got up to the line, and he was signing autographs. Real nice pitcher, and I said, what's your name? And I said Ryan, Mike, and he wrote, to Ron, best wishes. And I still have this, and I thought, you know what, I had to give this away because there's got to be a Ron out there somewhere that might like the Pittsburgh Pirates. But I have an autograph with your name on it. It says to Ron, best wishes, Jim Gott. So you play your cards right, Ron. Ron Albright on the board, always great seeing you. He says, as for the defensive line, I agree that it is a weak spot. I don't think we need to get 3 defensive linemen in this draft. We need a true nose tackle like Dominique Orange, as well as replacement for Hayward and another depth line. Absolutely. The defensive line certainly needs work, certainly needs help. Hopefully we see it. We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it. You can't give up 250 yards and not do anything and hope for an improvement. I guess the schematics, the scheme, the coaching, you could hope on that. But again, what if you go out there and you find out it doesn't work? You're like, oh shit, we should have got more talent.
Yeah, that's why in my latest mock draft Monday at pick 76, Dominic Orange, pick 85, Dante Corleone. Just invest in the defensive line. That's what you got to do. That's a weak spot on the team. We invested a first round pick on it last year, invest a couple second or third round picks this year on it. You control the offensive line, you can control the defensive line, you can more or less do whatever you need to do. Go back and look at some of the great Steelers defenses. Go back to the Steel Curtain. Those guys up front allowed the linebackers in the safety in the secondary to do whatever they wanted to do. Go back to the 90s, 2000s when you had Casey Hampton, Aaron Smith, and all those guys. We controlled the fucking line, and we were able to do whatever the fuck we want to do. We need to get back to that, and by doing that, you got to invest heavy draft capital in these guys.
Today, the offseason programs do start for a bunch of teams. This week is the early week, a week early. If you have a new head coach, you can start a week early. This is what's going down today. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Arizona Cardinals, the Atlanta Falcons, the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns, Las Vegas Raiders, the Miami Dolphins, the New York Giants, and the Tennessee Titans all do kick off their offseason programs today. That is going on. The team is in town. Everybody's in town, Mike, for the offseason programs. We have some visitors coming in today, Mike. 3 of them, as a matter of fact. As far as I can see, I'm seeing wide receiver Denzel Boston from the University of Washington. He is due in today for a meeting to meet with the Steelers. Also, Florida State's defensive tackle Daryl Jackson. He is in today for a pre-draft visit. And finally, Mike, from Louisiana Lafayette, linebacker Jaden Duggar. He's considered a local prospect, so it won't count against the total of 30 of the visits that you're allowed to have, Mike. We're roughly 17 right now, 17 out of our 30 pre-draft visits. Any word or any thoughts on Denzel Boston? Of course, this name's coming up a lot. A lot of these receivers, you're seeing their names all over the place here in the Berg. Mike, Denzel Boston, also the defensive lineman we were just talking about, Darrell Jackson or Jaden Duggar. Interesting name all of a sudden here in Pittsburgh. Any comments on these three players coming in
Yeah,
today for the visit?
yeah, Boston, he fits the mold, like the size, weight of what Mike McCarthy likes. Those big-bodied targets, 6'4", 210 in that range. My big thing with him is like the separation. Like I think RB's talked about that a lot. His biggest problem is getting that separation from the DBs, and at the pros, man, it's going to be even tighter and harder to get away from that. He's really good at contested catches, one of the better guys coming out of the draft. But if you're not getting separation, you're gonna have to be good at that skill, winning those tough battles. I just don't like his lack of separation ability. We got two guys on the team that are big receivers that are able to gain separation from these from these DBs. At the pro level, is he going to be able to out physical these guys on the line and then gain the separation that way? But is he going to be able to maintain that speed? And those guys are going to catch up on him. So I'm not leaning on Denzel Boston being one of my top receivers taken for the Steelers. I like his size, but it's those little things that you have to be able to do to win at the line and maintain that separation to help your quarterback. I'm not a big fan of the linebacker. He's looking like this is setting something up for a 7th round project, maybe an undrafted rookie free agent type project. He's very athletic, but it's not highly regarded. But he's someone you can maybe sneak onto the practice squad and work with and coach up, and he can be a diamond in the rough. That's what that feels like. And Jackson, he's not one of my favorites on the D-line, but if they get him, for me, it won't be the end of the world. We know my preferences are Dominic Orange and Dante Corleone.
I thought your preferences were her and she.
Funny, but Jackson, he fits also the mold of what the Steelers are looking for. 6'5", 340, mountain of a man that can play on D end. But for me, I prefer Orange. I think Orange reminds me more of like a Stephon Tuitt type player on that edge right there. But if they get Jackson, I won't hate it. It's just he's not my number one preference.
There's a lot we're going to talk about receivers today, Mike. Young receivers coming out of college. We're going to talk about this in a little bit in depth here this morning, because for this afternoon, wherever you're coming in from, guys, because there's been strong interest, at least over the past couple days. Of course, we know that Denzel Boston will be here today. But, Mike, the other name that I've been hearing certainly about for the last 2 days is Mr. Omar Cooper Jr. Mike, he's been picking up some interest here in Pittsburgh. Again, it's just the flow of the draft. And this is why, I love the draft. But there's also things about the draft that I hate. It's all the speculation for the build-up. And, again, it's all just speculation at the end of the day. But Omar Cooper Jr., Mike, this name has been coming up strongly over the past couple of days. But before I talk about Omar, let me jump back in on Denzel Boston for just a second. Mike, the past 2 seasons, Denzel Boston in Washington caught 125 passes. 125 passes. He caught 1,715 on the yards, 1,715 yards the last 2 seasons, 20 touchdowns, 3 drops on 198 targets. So in the end of the day, I understand the separation that you're talking about. Guy put up a lot of great numbers. So, you know what? At the end of the day, if Omar Cooper isn't a Steeler, I'm sure we're going to be playing a game some weekend, and we're going to say, oh, there's Omar Cooper. Remember, we talked a lot about him in preseason. I'm sure he's going to do well, because a lot of these receivers, Mike, very talented coming out this year. However it lands for us, though, we're looking for one of them. We need one of them. Mike, as week 17 last year in the NFL, the Steelers were playing for their playoff lives against the Baltimore Ravens with DK Metcalf out. Mike, this was the receiver room for the Steelers in basically a playoff game. It was MVS, it was Adam Thielen, and it was Scotty Miller.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, Mike, we need to hit a home run as far as the wide receiver goes. Wide receiver room. Yes, listen, don't get me wrong. I love Pittman, But we have to get something just beyond that, I think. Somebody who's a playmaker. If we could get somebody when Santonio Holmes come out of college, the kid was just a playmaker. You put the ball in his hand. I would love to just get a guy like this anymore who's just going to make plays. Every time he touches the ball, Antonio Brown was the same way. Santonio Holmes was the same way. You get somebody like this, it solves a lot of problems. And then you could add somebody like that to the people with the size like DK and Pittman. You're going to be in good shape. And again, moving forward, and this receiver is going to start. You just start a process. Next year, you go after another receiver. So again, Mike, a lot of receivers to talk this week: offensive linemen, defensive line, even, but wide receivers. The big talk today: Omar Cooper Jr., Denzel Boston. Two big names this week, as Boston is in town today to talk to the Steelers. But Mike, 2 days, 2 names. Your thoughts on these two wide receivers?
My preference is Omar Cooper out of these two. You were talking about someone who you get the ball in their hand, they're a playmaker. It just watching Cooper play, like whenever he get the ball in his hands, that's what he was doing. He was making guys miss, getting a lot of yards after the catch. Just it looked smooth, looked effortless out there, looked real fluid to me. I just liked his hands too. Strong hands, really good after the catch, and someone too who's like falling down the draft boards due to injury concerns. Jordan Tyson. He's also another guy. You put the ball in his hands. He is a playmaker, and he fits like the size, more of the size mold that Mike McCarthy likes. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. Cooper, he's 6 foot 205, and that range. So not a small guy, but a real compact frame built. But Tyson, he's kind of like what you would like as well, man. 6'2", 200 pounds, can move, another silky smooth route runner. I think he might be one of the best route runners in the draft, him and Mekhi Lyman. But my only concerns is his injuries, and with the shitty playing surface that we have. He's had knee injuries, had hamstring injuries, and I don't want to see him slipping and sliding every week and having to wonder, okay, is a knee gone? Is a hammy gone? Is an ankle gone on this guy? So that's the only reason I want to draft Jordan Tyson, just because of our shitty fucking playing service. I know we're upgrading it, but for me, that's you have to factor this in when you're talking about Tyson. Can he overcome those injuries? Probably, but not on our playing surface. So for me, that's why I would not draft him if I was the Steelers. Just our field. So for me, that's putting in for first round receiver I'm looking at would be Omar Cooper. I love his game. I've been hyped about him since the beginning. I just love the way he plays football, man. You get the ball in his hands, he's going to make something happen, man.
And then also, Mike, you mentioned another name, Lemon, of course, from USC. Mm-hmm. This is what I read this morning, Mike. There's a 4% chance that Lemon will still be available at 21. So with that being said, and these other talented receivers, Mike, do you see the Steelers moving up in the first round for anything? And again, offensive line isn't out of the question. The kid from Penn State and a few other of these linemen that we've been talking about. Is the Steelers move up? Do they move down? Do they move all around? What are the Steelers going to do? What is Omar Khan going to do, Mike? 2 weeks and 2 days from now, when the NFL draft is going through the first round, into day 2, what does Omar Khan do with some of our? Because again, there's you have mad wiggle room with five first 100 picks, and then again 12 overall. You would have to think that something will be done as far as moving around.
Yeah, if I'm the Steelers, I'm gonna package one of my third round picks and like one of those 7s to move up in the first round if I can, because the teams do mock drafts too. They're constantly, before the lead up to the draft, they're running through scenarios too to figure out their own strategies. And as a fan too, I've been running through mock drafts, and consensus changes on players. Their boards are probably changing as well too. Them guessing what teams are going to do in front of them is probably changing as well, and it's not looking good for the Steelers sitting at 21 to get Vega, to get a Cooper, to get a Jordan Tyson, to get one of the better tackles in the draft. Like, it's looking like the Steelers are going to have to move up and move up pretty high, move up to around like in the 15 range to get a guy that they really want. There's so many teams above them that need receivers, so many teams above them that need guards and tackles, and you can't sit there at 21 and hope one of these guys falls to you, or hope that the GMs in front of you are going to make stupid ass decisions. Because once you get a run on a position in the first round, you tend to see them come off the boards because teams get panicky. They don't want to miss out on the guy. So you start seeing 2 receivers go. Next thing you know, all the big 4 might be gone, and you're sitting there thumb up your ass. And then your guard might be gone, your tackle might be gone. And next thing you know, you're at your 8th or 9th choice of best player for you, and you're screwed. So I'm really thinking about moving up. Especially if you fall in love with 1 or 2 of these guys, move up and get them. Who gives a fuck?
And here's another thing, Mike. One of the dumb things that I was going to talk about that Kabuli said, this is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. We're talking about receivers, but I'm going to slide into the tight end position just shortly here. This was something that was said. Kabuli is concerned. He's concerned. He wonders if the Steelers won't re-sign Darnell Washington. What? Why is he concerned about that? What would even make somebody say that?
I don't know. But, like, why would the Steelers not want to re-sign him? He's such a valuable piece on that offense.
Dude, he's like the biggest guy that ever played in the friggin' league almost. I mean, come on.
Like, if he flames out at tight end, oh, no, he eats himself into being an offensive tackle.
Right.
Awesome. And if he eats himself to being an offensive tackle, guess what? We can do formations where he's tackle eligible, and teams actually have to respect that he might be able to go out and catch a pass still. There's no reason for the Steelers to not try to re-sign him, to not, make an appropriate offer to him. They'd be stupid to. He's a valuable weapon. My God, this guy's an idiot. It's just trying to, generate clicks, generate anything.
Exactly.
It's just so stupid. Oh, they're not gonna. There's no. The Steelers are gonna re-sign Darnell Washington. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? You have a 1-2 punch at tight end with Muth and him. You have a 1-2 punch at wide receiver. You have a 1-2 punch at running back. Oh, my God. We have a competent offense in Pittsburgh. Can't have that.
Yeah.
Too many guys who can catch the ball and score points. Can't have that. 3 yards, cloud of dust. It's the only thing we're allowed to have here in Pittsburgh.
So with that being said, you spoke about the offensive line, like possibly moving him into tackle one day. So this comes to question. This is somebody that RB has talked about, Mike Spencer Fanu, out of the offensive lineman out of Utah. So some of the speculation that I read about him was that if we would, in fact, draft Fanu, you could then put Troy Fatanu over the left tackle position, and that could, solve a couple problems within one.
Yeah.
Where is he on your list? Is Fanu? He's a first round pick, isn't he? So it's either. So I mean, whether he be the guy or not, it's either going to be him or somebody else that you really like. Yeah. Where does Fanu fall for you? I mean, for one, if he's serviceable enough to be a big part of our offensive line moving forward. Also, you could fix a couple birds with one stone by flip flopping, the 2 tackles around.
Yeah.
How serious could a pick like Fanu be in the first round for the Steelers?
He's rated in some places, have him a top 10 prospect, like 10, 11, others like 12 to 15. So you would have to move up to get him. And he's like the number 2, number 1 rated tackle. Him and Magoyo, or butchering his name, poor kid, sorry, from Miami, are the top 2 tackles. So you would have to move up high to get him. But if you think you get him and that finally solves your offensive line, because you can hide a guard at left guard, do it. I know a lot of Steeler fans would be angry because you're not trading up for a sexy skill position. But okay, now you
I
have a
think
line that's going to dominate and allow you to
if
skill position
anybody
players to win.
understands, I think it's a Steeler
I
fan
hope
because
so.
how many times that we've been drafting linemen for a year.
Uh,
Listen, I don't think you're going to surprise Steeler fans with that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think Steeler fans are savvy enough to understand that we need an offensive line and things aren't going to work. And I understand that people love sexy picks, but at the end of
Right.
the day, if you're trying to build your team right and get that
Mhm.
interior line and the line overall, both sides of the ball improved, you got to do it. You got to do it because everything else isn't going to work if you don't have it, Mike. Few and far between do. I mean, you could go
Yeah.
back to our Super Bowl 40 team. The offensive line was considered one of the worst in the playoffs that year, and they ended up getting it done. So at the end of the day, few and far between, but you need a good offensive line if you plan to do anything, especially when it comes time to talking about wins in January. You just can't go out there with the poorest offensive line and hope for success.
Because he can be like a potential target for the Browns at 6. I would say even the Chiefs at 9, the Bengals at 10. Even the Ravens at 14. So if he slips past the top 10 and is hovering there, I'm calling Miami. I'm calling Dallas to see what I can do to move up and get him. If you identify him as, hey, we want our 2 tackles and we like Hoffman at guard, to where we're not going to draft one in the first round, go ahead and do it. You have to have an offensive line in place, because we saw what happened against Houston in the playoffs. We got absolute beat up front. We weren't able to run the ball. We weren't able to pass the ball because our quarterback and running back had no time.
Let's get back on the board, Mike. I don't want to get too far behind. I do want to say welcome, everybody. Thanks for all the comments, everything today. Let's jump back on right here with Sauce. Sauce says this Cowboys cornerback Diggs is a good example. He had like 10 interceptions, but also gave up the most yards out of all the cornerbacks, but got into the Pro Bowl. So there you go. You take somebody, he got interceptions, Mike, but he gave up a whole bunch of other stuff.
Mhm.
He's in the Pro Bowl. Joey Porter doesn't let up a touchdown in 2 seasons. Once he gets some of those other things to add to that, he's going to be a no-brainer for the Pro Bowl for who knows how long. So it's just a matter of time. Like, it's not if, it's just when for me. Kaboli says this at Tortilla. My pet name for your mom is Pizza. Also, Sauce says this. Hey, I'm not a Bengals fan. I'm a Steeler fan. Stop thinking I'm thinking I'm a Bengals fan, right? You're right. It's Stringer, Stranger, Stronger, or whatever it is. He is the Bengals fan. I do apologize. I didn't mean to offend you, Sash. Totally my bad. Vegas says they ruined the Pro Bowl. And that's the thing. If somebody like Shador Sanders is a Pro Bowler, which he wasn't, and to say that somebody like Joey Porter wasn't, and he is, come on. Let's go to right here. Stringer, there he goes. He says, I'm the Bengals fan. Zach Stone, always great seeing Zach Stone. I don't take Pro Bowl serious anymore. Only all pros. That's it too. Pro Bowl's become a joke. Cody says, no one is a Bengals fan. LOL. Mark Malone says this, a team that had their asses handed, a team that has had their asses whipped over and had and over in the playoffs. Somber says, right, who the F cares? Tortilla. Not every team that wins the Super Bowl goes back and wins another. Also, Ty says, I just want a ring. I do too. Cody says, Mike Tomlinson's defense was ass last year. Vegas says, John U. Smith is suing the NCAA so he can go back to college and play one more year at OSU. Oh, that would be great. Him and Arthur Smith back together again. Cody says, all that talent and so predictable. Mark Malone says, Tomlin literally road collar Super Bowl team just like Barry Switzer did to John. The thing is that you have an argument both ways. People are just gonna make each other angry because it just comes down to which coach you like better. So at the end of the day, neither of those statements are wrong, and it be what it be. What are you gonna do? Let's go to RB. He says the issue isn't the players. It's Tomlin came all alone. He inherited Cowher's entire staff, and even as he lost them, he promoted other Cowher staffers. Tomlin never won a playoff game. Cody says this, everyone could predict the Steelers offense and defense. That has to change. The fact that they are so predictable, it's just the beginning of the problems, I think, in moving this team forward. Certainly a big part of it. RB says with his own staff, he went on to conclude that thought. Somber said Ron Weasley. Ron Weasley. Cody says Ronald McDonald is Kaboli's favorite superhero. Let's go right here. Tutai says facts go third round for defensive tackle. What do you guys think about? And I haven't seen anything yet as of today. We talked about Sexy Dexy yesterday, of course, wanting to be traded from the Giants. Dexter Lawrence. You know what, Mike? That could be a big boost to that middle five that I talk about.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you know, you could bring in a Dexter Lawrence. We solved up some problems.
You do that, then Day doesn't have to start at nose. He can bounce around the line. Harmon can, stay at the starter at one edge. Benton can bounce from edge to edge or end to end. And then you can, you draft like a Dante Corleone, and he can sit there and learn for a couple years behind Sexy Dexy for when his contract's up. You got the next man in, ready to go. That restocking that we've been talking about, we got to get back to that. So I would love for it to happen. If anyone can figure it out how to make it work cap-wise, it would be Omar Khan and his staff. I would love to see it happen.
RB says this, Tomlin was a good coach when he was the dude who gave rah-rah talks and let the assistants do their job. Once all the coward guys were gone, Tomlin took control of everything, and we nosedived. Tortilla says interceptions can be misleading. Diggs led the league in interceptions and most yards against him. Mark Malone, Graham will get the guys we have playing well, man, and I hope you're right. Listen, the only thing that I have to go against Patrick Graham is the fact that his team was 32nd in the league last year. And I understand the defense was ranked higher, but at the end of the day, when your team is the worst in the league, that's not just offense. It's a product of a result of everything that you have. And unfortunately, half of that's the defense. So again, I'm gonna have to wait to see it to believe it. Because you couldn't find a team that was lower to grab their defensive coordinator. They're literally the 32nd best team in the league last year. So again, that's somewhat concerning to me. It was the Raiders. I get that. All those things that I get that. I put it into perspective, but at the end of the day, I'm going to have to see it with everybody. I'm not convinced on Mike McCarthy. I'm not, I do have a like for him. He's a hometown guy. That's about it right now. I don't like the fact that he beat my team in the Super Bowl 16 years ago. So at the end of the day, we do have to wait this stuff out, Mike. Things are looking good, but as they did last year and as they did the year before, we really felt that there was going to be leaps and bounds moving forward last year, going from the Pickett and Trubisky to Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. We thought, man, we are set. And we ended up becoming 10-7. So then you get rid of those two and you say, all right, bring Aaron in. Oh, we're set. And we ended up being 10-7. So it's what goes down in between August and January that matters. And we just don't know. We don't know because, Mike, every year we have been adding a good players. It isn't like we're not doing off-season work here. The GM, the team, bringing in players, bringing in DK Metcalfs and Jalen Ramsey's and Jonnu Smith and Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the whole way down the list, Mike, the ratio last year was they replaced 11 of their starters on offense and defense and special teams. Like out of 25 guys, they replaced 11 of them. So again, we have to wait it out because we figured, you know what, these replacements make us this much better. We have to play better. It has to be better. And we still finished 10-7 with the same results. So again, yes, different coaching staff, but I'm gonna have to see it all play out there. It's almost impossible to make any predictions at this point. You can make them, but if you're looking to make an educational hypothesis, it's kind of difficult, Mike, because we just don't know.
Yeah,
you just don't know what you're going to get from a Patrick Graham defense or an Archuleta or whatever the hell is there. You see what I'm saying? So again, I'm optimistic, but yet don't let yourself down. Don't let yourself down by giving them too much credit. Like last year, they were talking about this defense is going to be one of the best defenses ever. And as a sports fan, that's probably not going to be the case. But at the end of the day, if they think they're going to be the best ever, they're probably going to be pretty damn good. Yeah. Well, here we are. We need to win a game against Buffalo down the stretch. They come to our stadium and run for 250 yards against us. So, again, you just don't know until it comes around. So, again, just another reason to be anxious and excited all at the same time when thinking about this season, like as we are just about halfway between the last playoff game and the first preseason game. So, it's getting there, Mike.
It's getting here. It's getting here fast. I can't wait for it. But Yeah, we could talk to, we're blowing the face like, oh, this is going to be better, that's going to be better. We don't know. We're wishing and hoping that it will. We're
Absolutely.
basing it off of, the data that we have seen. Oh, they've had like the defense he had Max Crosby, and that was it, and this is what they were able to do. Oh, he has these guys, he should be able to do this. Well, will the guys that we have want to do, and will they give it their all when given these new schemes? Will TJ Watt completely buy in? Will Cam Hayward completely buy in? If they don't buy in, is anyone else going to buy in? Stuff like that. So there's a lot of variables going on here. We're just hoping everything is perfect, 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 perfect. And we know that's not going to be the case. This is not a perfect world that we live in. So there's a lot of questions to be answered until opening day. And, God, training camp's going to open, or training camp's going to be huge this year. Or a lot of questions are going to be answered early. I have a feeling.
I agree. Let's talk about some of those important dates, Mike. Today, of course, starts the off-season program. This is a week early for the 10 teams that do have new head coaches. The other 22 teams will all start next week on their off-season program. This is today. Also, Mike, you have on-field OTAs coming in May. This, of course, is after the draft. May 18, 2021, on-field OTAs 1 through 3. And then on May 26th, 28th, and 29th, you also have on-field OTAs 4 through 6. Mike, on June 2nd through June 4th, you have mandatory minicamp. And then on June 8th, 9, 11, and 12, you have on-field OTAs 7 through 10. Rookie camp hasn't been scheduled yet, but that is also thrown in there. And finally, my training camp starts mid-July. So that is the schedule as of right now, guys. Think about it. We built our coaching staff off season, got that done. Free agency, we went through that, got that done. Draft's coming up in 2 weeks, 2 days. We're gonna have that done. Now, again today, we're with the off-season program and the 3 legs of the off-season program. That's coming up, Mike. Also, mandatory minicamp, rookie camp. But that's all. We got through some of the toughest parts, the rebuilding parts. Now it's almost time to get to work and make sure that everybody is what we want them to be. And we'll take a look at things and take a look at people's physical, injuries, all that kind of stuff that they look at, Mike. So again, that's just an idea of how close we are getting. Unbelievable. Again, already April. Say what you want. Does it feel like it's going slow? Yeah. But does it feel like it's going fast too? It does. At the end of the day, Mike. So that is the schedule. Again, off-season program starts today, May 18th, 2021, 20 and 21 OTAs. Also, again, on the 26th, 28th, and 29th of May, mandatory mini camp to start out June. And then that last leg of the OTAs, Mike, that comes also in June. And then, of course, rookie camp will hear whenever that gets scheduled. So, come on, we're blowing through it, through this offseason.
It's starting to pick up the pace. Still a lot to go. I saw like on Twitter, it looked like Jalen Ramsey made his way to the stuff. So that's nice to see a veteran of his caliber showing up. So
and one thing,
things are off to a good start.
And one thing I did see, I seen at one point Tater Tard was bobbing his head around here. I don't know if he's still here, but one thing, Mike, Myles Garrett is expected to be a no-show at the off-season program for the Cleveland Browns as they also start today. So there you go, dysfunctional Cleveland doing what they do. Is Myles Garrett expected to be a no-show in Cleveland?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. Mr. I want to win a championship. I want to win a championship, and then no showing.
Imagine that. Let's go to. I'm going to go right here. No Boston. No. Okay, let's go here. Tyrone says no on Boston unless we trade back. Also, Somber says not a big fan of Boston at 21. Let's scoot up here. Mark Bulliak, Cody, your dad likes me to paint my face like Ronald McDonald while he watches your mom toss my salad and peel my potatoes. He got you there.
That one is fucking great.
He got you there, Cody.
Let's go great.
Here. Tyrone says definitely not 27 to 30. Sure. Cody says I thought we were getting KC at 21. Somber says I feel like you could take Fields. Hold on, where are we at here? Malachi Fields and get the same results. Let's go to RB. RB says this. He says Boston is a Dollar Tree juju. The Dollar Tree juju. Tyrone says Vega Cooper Jr. I'm big on the first round right now. They both sound. I mean, certainly Vega. Let's go to Ronald. Ronald says that's funny about the signed pitcher. I have a signed pitcher that says Ryan from Ron Jeremy. But
So, look, you guys can trade.
Well, we can't because mine wouldn't be accurate. He says his says to my fellow big penis brother, which that would not be accurate for me. So you can keep that, Ronald, but you could also have my my Jim God autograph if you'd like it. Cody says Tyrone wants Texas wide receiver Casey Concepcion. Kenneth, what's up, dude? Great seeing Kenneth McNair back on the board. Always great seeing Kenneth. Kenneth says that's a good one. Nice seeing you, brother. Always great seeing you. Certainly an OG, man. Love and like I said, Mike, you get somebody like it's a regular during the regular season popping in. It's almost like when you're in school and you get like like a new kid that day. It's exciting. Yeah. There's I'm really excited to see you. Great. Hope things are going well for you, Kenneth. Tortilla says Cody wants Pavia. RB says this, Somber Fields is actually a much bigger body and much better body control and better run blocker. You nailed that. Fields in round 4 is better than Boston. In 1 or 2, I'd take Fields over Boston every day. Cody says Diego to GOAT. Diego, what is that? What does that mean?
Diego Pavia. He's that.
Okay, going back to Pavia. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. It took me a second.
Vegas says Mike is a size queen. Mike is a size queen.
Possibly.
Cooper Concepcion. Mark Malone is saying Tyler is saying Cooper Jr. Dude, what's up? Always great seeing John on the board, dude. He says, what's up with the glasses? You okay? Well, he's Fat Jesus now.
Fat Jesus now.
He's no longer Mike or Vanilla Thunder. Fat Jesus apparently has sunglasses.
Fat Jesus, I see the light constantly.
Yeah.
It blinds me.
So that
I'm all good. The sunglasses is just part of the bit.
Jamal says Cooper Jr. is a dog. He made Mendoza look better. I agree. I couldn't agree more. He made Mendoza look really good. And we will continue to watch and monitor how Mendoza's career plays out. For the Raiders, I can imagine it might be a bit of a disaster, but who knows? Cody says Brown, Santonio, Plexico. Plex, he was a little bit more of a worry for me. But the other two guys were a freaking listen, they were all kind of nuts in their own way, but they were all playmakers. Right. But Plex, I don't know. He was the kind of guy, Mike, that had to be worked on to be a playmaker. He had the size, but there was a disconnect between this and the rest of them. And there was a lot of dumb things that he did early on in his career. And even as he became later on in his career, he was never elite. He did really good things.
No, he was. I'd say he was like a step down from the elites. He was a very good receiver. My thing with Plex that I always noticed, maybe it's because I always look for it, the harder the catch, the more he concentrated and made those unbelievable catches. It was the routine stuff, like no one around him for 10 yards and he dropped the ball.
Yeah.
But when there was like 2 guys over him, he had to jump and he had to concentrate. He was great. I think like when he was so open, he would start to think of like, oh, hey, I'm going to get the ball. I'm going to do this, instead of concentrating when there were guys around him. He's like, I got to make this catch. Then when he would catch it, he'd do its thing. It was like those concentration drops for Plex was always my biggest worry.
He falls into the guys that in the category of the guys that just does stupid shit too.
Yeah.
I mean, getting up at the 50 and spiking the ball, and it was a live ball, and the Jaguars jumped on it, or shooting himself in the leg. I mean, the guy was a dummy. There's 2 ways about it.
Yeah.
How many people in your life that shot themselves in the leg? Probably not many, because it's a dumb thing to do.
It is a dumb thing to do.
So again, but at the end of the day, Plexico, Santonio Holmes and Antonio Brown, 2 of my favorites, 2 of the biggest playmakers that I would say. Coming into the Steelers from the draft. You know what? You could throw Plexico probably in the top 10, but at the end of the day, drafted quarterbacks this century, I would have Santonio Holmes and Antonio way at the top.
Me too. They were the 2 of the best. I'd have them AB1 and then Santonio 2.
And you know what? If Santonio would have continued to play, you might have had Santonio one because he was that freaking good. As a matter of fact, I can't. I just remember thinking every week how he just breaks the game open. He takes a play and makes something out of it and wins the game on his own shoulders. It was truly amazing. I wish he would have been here longer. It's stupid that he wasn't. But that's just the way the things went. Somber says, I'm dead. I agree, RB. Ty says this, drafting the Berg. I see 2 trade-ups this year with 12 picks, Ryan and Mike. That's a very good possibility. Very good possibility.
Hey, trade up in the first, trade up in the second.
Cody says, yeah, but those are a lot of those teams need edge rushers too. RB says the good thing is if teams start talking wide receivers, guys like Vega, Lomu, and Fanu fall to 21. So that will work in our favor, of course. Cody says, what idiot said that? Let's go to RB. RB says Washington might want to move to tackle to maximize money. And you know what? We did mention that. And, you know, he would probably get paid a hell of a lot more. Who knows what the future holds? But I want a season of Washington. I want to see what the hell he could do just getting the ball out to him when there's other people out there running around with capabilities to play as well. You know what I mean? It's just it has not been the ideal situation for a lot of these guys coming through this team in the draft the past 5 years. And it's unfortunate because I feel that there was some pretty good talent that came and went through that period of time. But we will see again. Let's see how it all plays out. Mark Malone says if Cooper and Vega are gone, just take Concepcion at 21. Ty says Omar already said he's keeping his guys. Cody says, who said that? RB, I seen someone say edge rusher when our team's going to wake up. To see edge rusher is the most overrated position in the game right now, and I couldn't agree more.
Oh yeah, there was a mock draft from one of the guys at the NFL Network, and he had the Steelers taking an edge rusher at 21. Like do you people like watch the same Steelers that we do? TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Herbig, Jack Sawyer, like why are people starting to now say, oh, the Steelers are going to take an edge? Are they predicting that we're going to trade 3 of them in this draft?
Yeah,
it's asinine.
Oh, Tater Tart is in the house. Tater Tart, everybody. Tater Tart says Queens of the North, Browns in the house, guys. There you go. Browns, Queens of the North. Tater Tart, welcome to the show. There is our resident Browns fan. And also we had a Bengals stranger was in the house today. So a lot of company today. Let's scoot up right here to Cody. Cody says, yeah, but the edge rusher is a high paying position. I think most people want to pay the rookie contract to get rid of them. Not a bad idea. Cody coming in strong today. Stranger says this, I can only hope the Steelers are that dumb with Washington, but you're not the clowns. I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more, Stranger. As this is all that is a Browns move. I'm sorry for sure. Tortilla says Tater smells his own feet. Derby's and Peaches. She says, hey, boys. Hey, now.
Hey, Peaches.
Great seeing Aunt Peaches on the terrible board. Hope all is going well for you. Trailer Park loves Aunt Peaches. Ty says, Omar definitely paying JPJ, Darnell. It's Herbig and Benton that I don't know about. Mark Malone's there he is. He says, hey, Peaches. I know Mark Malone. He smelled that coming a mile away. Somber says, I've seen Fano go as high as 6. Also, Sash says Fano has been falling quite a bit because teams aren't sure he can play tackle. I think he could fall to 21 on draft day. Cody says between edge rushers, wide receivers, safeties, offensive linemen, linebackers, no one good is going to be there at 21. Get out of here. Ugh. Somber says this. He says, I've seen Miller falling on some mocks. Cody says, plus Titans getting love.
Yeah, I don't know why they would draft a running back that high. They're not ready for a running back that high. No. They got a lot of issues on their roster before you start thinking about drafting a running back.
Tortilla, damn, Kabola used his ultimate on me.
He fucked you up.
Let's go right here to Stranger. Dexy would be even sexier in the stripes. In the stripes. Kabuli pressed R. Mark Malone, unnecessary. Mark Malone, a luxury we can't afford. Let's go here to Robert. Robert says Cowher won playoff games with O'Donnell, Tom, Zach Stewart, Maddox, and Ben. Tomlin only won with Roethlisberger. That's interesting. When you put it that way. Let's go up here. Mark Malone, I'm telling you, man, just getting rid of Tomlin will make an enormous difference, and we will see. Hey, and the thing is, I've heard people say that. I've heard people say that for different reasons. But at the end of the day, I can't wait. I can't wait to see this play out, and whatever it is, whatever. I just want to continue to win, get into the playoffs, win some football games. And if the new coaching staff makes that happen, then I'm going to be happy. Listen, I have no ill feeling toward the last coaching staff. I have no reason to. Ty says only time will tell. Time will tell, and that's all. That's you're 100% right, Ty. Let's scoot right here, Mark Malone. Remember the drunken street bum? I would talking about being a upgrade over Tomlin. Well, we did way better. Somber says 10-7 or 9-8 for a decade, but somehow we're spoiled. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, for wanting to be better than what we have been. People are, you're so spoiled. Get the fuck out of here. It's sports. People support their teams. They want them to win. If you don't want your team to win on from a year-to-year basis, what's that say about you? Ty says this was good seeing TJ, J Ram show up. They know they got to step up this year. Somber says Sanders seems to think our expectation of the PG defense, Patrick Graham defense might be too high. He said to temper your expectations. Jamal says, how can we work without a quarterback? LOL. I don't think that we don't have a quarterback. Listen, and I don't know. I'm not Kamboli. I'm not going to give you any kind of false hope on anything, but it really feels to me, again, at the end of the day, Mike McCarthy, I think, really really improves the chances that Aaron Rodgers comes back at least for one more season. Maybe if it wasn't, maybe if it would have been a new coach, maybe if it would have been one of these younger, innovative coaches that we talked about, Mike, prior to the hiring of Mike McCarthy, maybe then you could say that. Well, I don't want to get involved. This guy's doing all kind of new stuff. I have to come in and relearn. No, I mean, come on. He knows Mike McCarthy. They worked together for 13 years. They won a Super Bowl together. I'm feeling somewhat confident. Again, I don't know, and I'm not saying that I do, but I'm feeling pretty confident, Mike, that Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be back one more year. And for where we are, I'm totally up for it, because again, at the end of the day, he gets you 10-6 last year. He gets you to the playoffs. Tater's still talking about the toilets in the bathroom. This is why they don't take football. Don't take Europe too seriously. We're worrying about first downs. They're worrying about toilets and urinals. But we'll get to you in a second.
Yeah, but even if Rodgers doesn't come back, I'm okay with that too. Let's see what the young guy has.
I didn't even finish my statement.
No, you're good. Yeah, Tater has that effect on people, brother.
Well, he says stupid things and it catches you off guard, and you're like,
oh, it does too. It does. It comes out of nowhere.
I have to respond to that before. So, in that the point I was trying to make was with Aaron Rodgers is then you could focus on your quarterback situation with either Will Howard or what's coming out of the draft next year. So it all kind of is working out, in my opinion, as good as it can.
Yeah.
As good, you know what I mean? Could things be better? Yeah. I mean, yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not bad. And again, I can't imagine that Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy aren't. Hey, how you doing? We're texting every day. Things are looking good. How's the weather out in California? It's good. How's it in Pittsburgh? Good. Okay, I'll talk to you later. No, I mean, these guys are friends. They're professionals. They're colleagues. Yeah. They worked together for 13 years and accomplished a championship together. So again, I think McCarthy knows. I think things. Of course, they know. People behind closed doors know things all the time. We know things behind closed doors here that you may not know that's watching. So you see what I'm saying? I truly do believe. Mike, that Aaron Rodgers will be back. And I don't hate it. Do I wish things were better? Yes. But I do see how this ultimately can lead to things getting better. So that's where I'm at right now. Aaron comes back. I'm cool with it. But at the end of the day, Mike, I'm going to be cool with whoever is my quarterback. And I always say that is with my coach as well. You know, that's our coach. That's our quarterback. You know.
Yeah. But yeah, even if it's Will Howard, I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to either one, you know, because excuse me, my God, you would hope like with this new offensive scheme that, you know, all you have to do is go look at what Dallas is running. That's probably what our offense is going to be. You know, it's going to be similar to that offense. And if Will Howard can function in that offense, awesome. If not, okay, we've answered that question. This is assuming Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back. So I'm cool with it.
Mike, also, I do want to just, if I could just have a minute to pull this up. There was something that I came across the other day that I didn't read it. I kind of gave just partial. This was something that Mike McCarthy, I was reading that he said, Mike McCarthy says Will Howard has everything else, but the one thing that he needs to work on, it's probably going to be, is working from the pocket. You got to win from the pocket. This is something that, of course, you know, Mike McCarthy's worked with quarterbacks. He's worked with Dak. He's worked with Aaron. A lot of success with quarterbacks throughout his career. Mike, he says that the one thing that Will Howard has to do is be able to win from the pocket. At the end of the day, 9 or 10 games a year are going to come down to the 2-minute drill. So his ability to win from the pocket, he thinks is what he would have to work on more than anything. He has a lot of the pieces. He thinks that he could be a serviceable quarterback in the NFL. Mike McCarthy is confident at Aaron Rodgers to the limited amount that, I mean, come on, they're not super close. They haven't spent years together, but from what he sees, the quarterback whisperer, some call him, Mike, says that winning in the pocket, and again, 9-10 games a year come down to that last drive of the game. So whether we do see Will, I mean, those are things that we're going to certainly be looking for. And again, as Mike McCarthy makes a point to note these things and to mention them, tells me that, you know what, there's probably something there that we should be keeping an eye on as well.
Yeah, this sounds like he is really excited to get his hands on him and try and mold him into the quarterback he think he can be. If you're not excited to work with someone, you're not going to talk about stuff like this. You're not going to be openly telling the media what he needs to.
You're right.
To do, and you're not going to say all the other stuff you said, how excited you are to work with him. So yeah, and you know, learning to win from the pocket. That's what, you know, you see that a lot of young quarterbacks have to do that. They get happy feet. They want to scramble and run. Like, you can't do that consistently in the pros.
Right.
Only a handful can, but even then, you see them when they smarten up, do that less and less as they get older. You're starting to see Josh Allen and Lamar try and get rid of the ball earlier instead of throwing it or running around like madmen. Ben, you know, went from, I'm going to extend every single play to, fuck this shit, I'm old, I'm getting rid of the ball quick, I want to keep playing as long as I can.
Right.
But the sooner you learn that ability, the faster you're going to pick up the offense. And your career is going to accelerate. You're going to be so much further ahead of these other quarterbacks that might be more talented than you, but they're doing too much. And if he can learn that, and like McCarthy said, you know, learn by just watching what Aaron Rodgers does. You know, just learn by watching it, and then learn by, you know, the little bit of reps that you're going to get. Go out there and execute that shit, man.
A couple things. I just want to clear something up on the board. Somber says, okay, R meaning Steeler fans in general. So let me go back and read this comment. Saunders seems to think R, Steeler fans' expectations of the Patrick Graham defense might be too high. He says temper, but that's my point of saying that too, Somber. Like I literally was saying, we just don't know. I don't know where Pittsburgh got these expectations for the 32nd best team's defensive coordinator. But again, we'll wait and see, hoping that it goes better than what Terrell Austin was able to do. But definitely point taken on that as well. And I'm right there with you. I hope the defense plays great. But again, last year we were expecting big things. And it certainly for the first few weeks of the season was certainly the polar opposite. And throughout the season, it kept rearing its ugly head, if you will. Let's do scoot up on the board here. I'm going to go right to Jamal. Jamal says this can win a chip in Cleveland. Let's be serious. Ty says, Jamal, we know who our quarterback is. Somber says J Ram, TJ, JP, Brisker, all in the building, baby. Everybody is in the house.
Hell yeah, baby.
Today is the start of the off-season program, Mike. Again, today for us, 9 teams The 10 teams that got brand new coaches, they get to start a week earlier than everybody else. That's what's going on. The other 22 teams will be starting next week. Here we go, Steelers. There it is, Aaron Jade. And I do want to say thank you for the comment on the comment section yesterday. Aaron was like, here we go, Steelers. Here we go, Penguins. Let's go, Pirates. Let's go, Yinzers. I loved it, though.
He was like, let's F and go. He was locked in. I loved it.
Absolutely. Always great to see Aaron and his message. I hope things are going good for you, brother. Ty says, yep, saw almost everybody who needs to be. Yep, saw everybody who needs be there, one guy missing. Tortilla, he says, Artemis 2 isn't going around the moon, it's going around Kabuli. Same thing, right? My big beef with that is, why aren't they landing on the moon? They flew all the way out there. They're just going to fly around it. Just land. Yeah, whatever. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says, think about how good Martavius Bryant. I love Martavius Bryant.
Oh,
he's another player that, god damn, I just wish would have worked out.
God forbid, brother would have smoked some weed.
As they're legalizing weed in states, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember what year that was, but I think 2012 or whatever was. I don't know how long it's been. Oregon and Colorado. That's been a minute since they legalized. So again, you're throwing guys out of the league off of teams because they smoke weed is insane. Let's catch up with the times a little bit. Keep Darnell right end. That's what Todd is saying. Vegas says shot himself in New York City. Went to jail for yeah, he was at a club. He shoots himself in the leg. Plexico Burris, of course. Vegas also says Burris spiked the ball like 2 times after catching. I specifically remember the one against Jacksonville. But I don't doubt that happened a couple of times. Vegas says this. He says, okay, we did get that. Vegas says Cheddar bobbed himself. Steel Loyal, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Steel Loyal on the terrible board. My man, he says this. Aaron Rodgers is currently mowing my yard. He'll be there tomorrow. I can see him with his hair slicked back out there, his wife beater on, just mowing the lawn. Tater says Grandpa holding out on that Cardinals call. Tater. Tater says this 30-second last organization. I'd seen the 30-second organization better than your team playing in January. But anyway, we don't have enough toilets, so that's what literally nobody cares about, obviously.
Did you see how he spelled organization, though?
Yeah.
I'd put it up on the screen, but I don't want to give Tater that satisfaction.
Yeah, you're good. Throw it up there. We'll laugh at it. I just want to stare at it for a minute. The 30-second last organization. Steel Loyal, he says, this Ireland education or Browns fan education?
I'm going to go with the Browns fan education on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to give the people that drink for breakfast the benefit of the doubt here. And I'm going to say it's probably
they may be hungover, but they know how to spell.
Yeah. Look at Tortilla. He says the Black Plague started in Cleveland. So did the Orange Plague as well, apparently. Both loyal ties says also Tater says Grandpa treating you like his bitch. And as all of Cleveland's quarterbacks are just doing great things up there.
Exactly.
Didn't somebody take all of his money that you gave him and got hand jobs? Which would, don't get me wrong, which isn't a bad thing. But you understand what I'm saying, just for the shot at Tater. Let's also go right here to Mark Malone. He says, I'm going to laugh my fucking balls off when we draft back. There it is. God bless him.
Face of a chance. That's a face of a franchise right there.
He was in mad national championships in college.
With the 21st pick of the NFL draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select quarterback Carson Beck. There'd be fucking riot.
No offense, Tyrone, is what Steel Loyal is saying. Steel Loyal follows it up by saying Tater makes Tyrone look like a grammar English major. I didn't realize Tyrone. I thought Tyrone spells pretty good. Let's go right here to Ty. Ty says this, guys in the building, 16 days, good vibes of black and gold. Absolutely, bro. Today is the start of the offseason program. The team is in the house. The stage looking great. outside of the stadium, Mike, is the draft is just 2 weeks and 2 days away, right in the parking lot between the two stadiums. And looking good, baby. It looking good. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Says this week's going to fly by. Next week is going to drag ass.
The week of the draft, yeah, it's gonna.
I know what it is. I figured this out. A lot of people say to me, they say, and listen, let me explain it. Let me explain myself first. When you get older, yes, time does go faster. But you know what? You don't know how many people anymore, the younger people, 20s, saying that time just goes too fast. They can't even believe how how fast time is going. And I couldn't agree more. But I think I figured it out. I think I figured it out, and I'm pretty confident with this. Because before, let's say, all right, for example, let's say you went to the doctor's office, Mike, and you sat there and you worried, and not worried, but you had anxiety, and you sat there and you thought about it, and then you're looking at everybody else go around you. All right, I just want to go. But guess what? With this thing, you never have to sit there and wait.
No,
you always occupy your mind if you have your phone on you. And if you're in the doctor's office, you look down. Oh, guess what? I'm not worrying about the doctor.
Yep.
I'm not worrying. I'm not paying attention to who's getting called. I'm not paying attention to how long I was sitting here. Everybody, and again, I have always heard older people say it because, of course, they're on that end of their life. But now to hear, 20-something kids say this, that's what it is. Our minds are always occupied. I could attest for the first half of my life, it wasn't like that. And you went somewhere and you had to wait in line. You had to stand there and think of the back of the person's head that you're staring at for 20 minutes. Now all that time is eliminated. It's eliminated because now you could go to something that you're interested in. And by the time you read, a couple friends' posts and what the Steelers are up to, the time has already passed. So I'm pretty sure this has something to do with the time flying. I think a lot of people agree, not just the older folks anymore, Mike. It's really, I do think the technology is shifting the way we do things, say things, live our lives. And I think it's pretty apparent. And I think that is a big example of that, Mike, because again, at the end of the day, time is going really fast.
It does too. And like you said, you just distract yourself with your phone, and next thing you know, oh shit, everything. Oh, I'm where I need to be. Oh, it's my turn. I'm good to go. And when we were younger, we didn't have that shit.
We didn't. You had to stand there and you had to think about shit, and you had to stand there and think about how annoying the guy in front of you was, or how obnoxious the girl behind you, or the person. You know what I mean? You eliminate all that. Yeah. And you replace with something of your interest. You look at things that you like, your friends, what they're writing. So again, I think that has a big part to do with it. I think it's psychological, like most things are. Let's get back on the board though, guys. I'm dead loyal. Tyrone says Tater says Grandpa's option 1, Pittsburgh 2, retire. Poor bastard. Tortilla says Tater's options 1, eat a biscuit, 2, drink a beer. Lucky bastard. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says Moon is haunted. The moon is haunted. Stranger says they went to the moon to scout for landing spots. Funny, the first time they just went and they did it all in one shot. Crazy how that played out. But anyway, another conversation another day. Steel Loyal says it's not called a biscuit in Tater's hometown. It's called a scone.
Scone.
Tater buttering his scone over there. Laugh my ass off. Ty, gang, Jamal in the house. My man also Tortilla. Tater goes to Hogwarts.
Mom goes to college.
Your mom goes to college.
Mom goes to Hogwarts.
Steel Loyal says Tater is in Azkaban. Oh Lord, Ty says also Tater. Tortilla says Chamber of Taters. The Chamber of Taters. Steel Loyal says the Half-Blood Tater. Chad Schrader. Not to be confused with Tater. Chad Schrader, always great seeing you on the board. Obviously a rhyme thing. Has nothing to do with Tater. Love Chad Schrader on the board. He says, what's up, Yinzers, Ryan and Mike? If we draft Carson Beck in the first round, I'm going to jump off a bridge. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go. And you know what? I might be right there behind you. Come on. Can you imagine? If we?
I would laugh so hard if that shit would actually happen.
You would hear simultaneous gunshots to our own heads here in Pittsburgh. It was
every fucking Yinzer would just die. Everyone except Mark Malone. Yeah. He'd be the only one left standing.
Mark Malone would be ordering his Corleone jersey. He would be ordering his Carson Beck jersey and also his dunker. Of course, if we get all three of them guys, I'll just shit. because Mark Malone has been calling it all along. Tortilla says Harry Tater and the Philosopher's Scone. Laugh my ass off a fucking day. You win, Tortilla. Tortilla, he's tough, man. He's MVP candidate year by year. No two ways about that. Tater says time stops for no man. You're right. You're right. You are right. RB, someone say Alan Saunders. He might be able to outslob Kaboli. Right?
That's a feat right there.
RB always in the clutch too, baby. My man. 007. Great seeing you, but Mike, another name.
Another blast from the past.
I mean, they're regulars. It's just, I mean, we understand when it's football, when it's not football season. But great to see 007 back in the house as well. He says, "Do you think Dwayne Haskins would have been a good quarterback if he would have not been killed and hit by the dump truck in Florida a couple years ago?" And that's the thing. That's something that I wondered as time went over time as well, because he might have did well. You don't know. Some people say, well, this, well, that. But at the end of the day, some people do pull it together. And I would have liked to see him get a shot. Unfortunately, getting hit by a car, a dump truck down in Florida a few years ago while training. Unfortunate. No matter what, you don't want anybody to get killed, whether he's going to be a good quarterback or not. I mean, it's just very unfortunate. Come on. Dwayne Haskins. And that seems like it was the beginning of all of right in that time when we were really starting to run into quarterback troubles. He gets killed, and then we go through this terrible time of experimentation with quarterbacks, and Ben's wrapping it up, and unfortunate. Mark Malone, if we get all those guys, we're set. You'll be happy. I know that.
You might be the only one.
Steel Loyal says, what a question. Laugh my ass off. Ty says, no, Mark. What do we got going on here, guys? What do we got going on? As we were rounding third here on the show, Trubisky did it. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
Head on over to the 2dumyinzers.com, everyone. It was mock draft Monday yesterday, so check it out again if you did not get a chance to check it out. I got stuff for there. Our B got stuff over there. Chop got stuff over there. All of our links are over there, so check it out at the 2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool things over www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. As Mike said, a lot of articles over there by RB Chop and Mike. Mike puts up his mock Mondays, all kind of cool things. Go check out the website again at www.the2dumyinzers.com. Steel Loyal says 2000s and 2010s quarterbacks were so good. Tortilla, Mitch would have missed the targets. Also, Ty says A-Rod or Howard. I mean, that's what it's going to come down to, Ty. And I would be fine with it either way. I'm going to be honest with you. If I want to win this year, I think that I think that you would want A-Rod out of the two. But if you want to start working on just making your team better overall and learning, and listen, I am a proponent of this. I know other people aren't, but I think that working together and losing a little bit, it teaches you how to build back and win after losing a little bit. So I wouldn't hate Will Howard either, because you're going to stumble across. You're going to have rookie issues. There are always rookie issues, especially at the quarterback position. So again, I would like him to improve with the players around him and all those things, again, to move forward. If in fact he is the guy, we don't know what's going to happen in next year's draft. That's still a whole year away. So at the end of the day, Ty, I couldn't agree with you more. It's either going to be A-Rod, it's going to be Howard. I'm fine either way. Again, if you want to win now and you want to get that the little bit extra, because the guy knows shit, between his ears is definitely a big part of his weapon, Aaron Rodgers. But I agree, Ty, that's the options right now. Carson Beck probably, Mike, will not be starting for the Pittsburgh Steelers anytime soon. Unfortunately, of course, Mark Malone, he loves Carson Beck with the eye. His Mike always shares it with us every time he does. We do talk about it. There it is.
There it is, brother.
There it is.
Face of a franchise, baby. That's the face that's going to bring us to heaven. Heaven, baby.
Or scare crows away. One or the other.
One of the two.
Let's get to this question of the day, Mike. This is no different than every other day is leading up to the draft. It's been all draft questions. Some days about our Pittsburgh Steelers, other days about the draft in general. Mike, today, it's not going to be necessarily about the Steelers, but it is going to be a good draft question for you. Steel Loyals is Carson Beck, the eye of the lagger. Eye of the lagger. Question of the day. This is a draft question, but again, this one. Hold on. I have to respond to that. Tater says, "Off to watch proper football laters." All right, have a good one, Tater. Here, let me send them off.
There we go.
A little language he understands. So here we go. Still says you mean soccer. Here we go. Question of the day. This is a draft question. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Cap. Everybody at home, put on your thinking caps as well. Here we go. Only one team ever has had 4 first-round picks. Which team was it? I'm going to give you a hint. It is in the modern era. It is in the Super Bowl era. Question of the day. Only one team ever has 4 first-round picks. Which team is it? Think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the tube.
On tube.
Throw up your guesses if you think you got it. Maybe you might know it. Guys, again, the draft question of the day is this. Only one team has ever had 4 first-round draft picks in the same draft, of course. Which team was it? And my clue is it is in the modern era. And I might even say that it's even been in this century. I'll leave it at that. It might have even been in this century. Panthers is what Tortilla is saying on the board. Steel Loyal is guessing. He's saying, I'm going to say the Jets or the Browns. Steel Loyal says it's got to be a bad team, right? I mean, you would think that, again, I don't want to say, but you would assume. Tortilla says rising up back in round 3. Did my time out, Miami. Easy. Enjoy the flop. Steel Loyal is saying to Tater. So here we go, guys. The question of the day is this. Only one team has ever had 4 first-round picks in the draft. Which team was it? It's this modern era, Super Bowl era, and it was this century. If that helps at all, I'll give you another moment or so. Throw your guesses up on the screen if you think you know. If you don't, just throw one up anyway. We'll see how it lands. There's 32 teams to pick from. It's a team that is around nowadays. It's nobody that has come and gone, nobody that changed their name, if that helps at all. Again, the question of the day, only one team has ever had 4 first-round draft picks in a draft. Which team was it? Mike, what is your thought process while trying to figure this trivia question out?
I'm pretty sure I remember this draft. And let me tell you, and I don't think any of these picks really panned out. It was the Jets, because I was like, oh, man, they're going to nail some of these picks and set themselves up for the future, and they did not.
The Jets. So is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, so let me lock you into place, Mike. Mike says the Jets. Also on the board, Steel Loyal agrees with you. He said the Jets always got multiple first-round picks. I'm going Jets as well. I do want to go to Ty. Ty says this. I'm going to just go with my gut. Jets was pretty ass, so he's going with Jets as well. A couple of people agree with you there, Mike. And I do want to say what's up to Chris Ivy. Chris Ivy on the Terrible Board. Welcome to the show. I possibly could have seen this name before. Welcome to the board, Chris. Chris says the Cowboys. The Cowboys got 4 first-round picks. So a lot of good guesses on the board. I'm seeing Panthers. I'm seeing the Jets. I'm seeing the Browns. I'm seeing the Cowboys. Mike says, we got you locked in on the Jets. Just another moment. Think it over, guys. If you want to throw a guess up there, all pretty good guesses so far. And all right, let me give you one more. Let me give you one more hint. Of the 4 teams that are up there on the board, different teams, the Cowboys, Browns, Jets, Panthers, it was one of them. So I'm just going to put that out there. It is one of those 4 teams. That's your last guess. That's your last hint. Sorry about that. And one more time, the question of the day, only one team has ever had 4 first-round picks in the same draft. Which team was it? Steel Loyal Cowboys is a good guess, to be honest. There you go, guys. Different guesses. The answer to the question is, of course, the 2000 New York Jets. The 2000 New York Jets had 4 first-round pick. Mike, who were some of these players? I don't remember this.
So you had Sean Ellis. He was the first one off the board at I forget what pick he was. Might have been pick 12. He had a decent career. He had finished up with like 73.5 sacks. Only one where he's 23 and 24. He had like 12.5 and 11 sacks. Good. Not a bad year there. Then their next pick was John Abraham, and he had a hell of a career. 133.5 sacks. His best, his best moments were down in Atlanta. He was a beast down there. Then he had Chad Pennington.
Out of the
I'm glad the Steelers did not draft him, that weak armed quarterback. He had an average career. He was nothing special, nothing spectacular. And then the last one was tight end Anthony Becht.
Okay.
And he only had 1,500 yards in his career.
Remember Wayne Corbett?
Yes.
I liked Wayne Corbett.
I think one of the better players out of this draft was Lavernius Coles. He had a nice little career.
Oh yeah. That's 2000 draft, everybody. The answer to the question of the day was the New York Jets in 2000. They had four first-round draft picks. And Mike, if 12 is where you were saying right around was the first pick off the board was for them, that's a lot of picks in one concentrated area, especially if you're starting at 12. I'm not sure that's how that played out, but
I don't think he was 12 because I think Pennington was before that. So they were early in the draft. I'll pull it up again real quick. I'm sorry, I closed it out. 2000 NFL draft. Let's see. That was the year we had Courtney Brown and LeVar Arrington go first, 1 and 2.
LeVar Arrington, North Hills, right here, Mike. Number 2 overall in the draft. We had that as a quiz question the other day on the show.
Yeah, and the funny thing is about when he was drafted, it was we're not going to let him do what he wants to do. That's what made him great. And but no, I was wrong. They picked 12 and 13 and 18 and
so 27. They had 4 picks in between 12 and 27.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's jump back on the board here, guys. Steel Loyalists is all pretty bad teams for sure. Had to be the Jets, Steel says. Let's go right here. Lightning Rod. What's up, dude? Always great seeing Lightning Rod on the terrible board. Lightning Rod says, Trump yesterday on Monday spoke ominous words standing next to a giant white rabbit on the day after Easter. So that was not the Easter bunny. That was the white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Let's go up to Tortilla. Tortilla says concrete fumble. Yeah. Steel Loyal says Trump is going to be our quarterback. Lightning Rod says early 80s Jets were fun, a fun team to watch. I'm not sure if Curtis was over there just yet. He was a Patriot. You got to remember that at first. Of course, also from Pittsburgh, Taylor Alderdice High School, where Wiz Khalifa's from, actually is where Curtis Martin is from. I don't remember exactly when he went to the Jets, but he certainly was a big part of that early 2000s team. I know that we faced him a couple of times in the playoffs. Tortilla, I throw the best passes. Also, Vegas says this. They had a show about his team and how the players were all pretty good. It was noodle-armed Chad.
Yeah, I remember when we took Plexico Burris and Mel Kiper Jr.'s freaking out. This is what's wrong with this franchise. You pass on a quarterback like Chad Pennington, and Plexico Burris had arguably the better career. I don't think arguably. I think objectively has.
Jeez, don't make a mistake around Mike. He'll hold it over your head for 26 years.
Fuck yeah, I will.
You're still mad about what Mel Kiper said. My God.
Fuck yeah, because hey, you're gonna put yourself out there as an expert, baby. And you want to critique everyone, but Mel hates it when people critique him. Maybe Mel and I are the same.
Well, he's not perfect.
He should be.
He doesn't know these.
He ain't fat Jesus, baby.
He's not a psychic. Let's go to. I know the passes. I throw best passes. Vegas got that. Let's see. Mark Malone, Lightning Rod, Ken O'Brien. Look, I mean, I remember though Al Toon. I think Al Toon was on that Jets team in the 80s. Eventually, Boomer Esiason went over there, of course, after he left the Bengals. I don't remember them just being a lot of fun. I remember them, of course, but Joe Namath obviously being the big memory for me. Before I was born, though. Way before I was born, actually. Let's go to Tyrone. Great show, you bastards. We appreciate it, my friend, as always, Tyrone. I love having you here every day. Great person he is. Not only a GOAT, the GOAT. He's a great person. Let's go right here to Lightning Rod. Says, I have a feeling that the Steelers, are going to have a great epic draft this year. I do too. And Mike, we'd said it all along. If we could hit that home run in this draft, you're going to start to feel really good about this football team. Again, the way we handled this offseason, free agency, we won the free agency, Mike. They say that nobody had a better free agency than we did this year, coming in with a new, fresh coaching staff. Again, if we hit a home run in the draft, a lot of things are going to start feeling really good about this Steeler team, and it's just going to make you want the time to go faster to get there, Mike, as we were about halfway from the playoff game that we lost in the first preseason game that we're going to play. We're about halfway. So, guys, we made it this far. We're going to get there. I promise you, even if Tater's here, we're going to get there. We're going to make it.
We'll make it. We'll make it. Fucking Tater. The mentioning Tater just ruined my whole entire mood.
Tortilla says, I came out of the womb mad at Mel Kiper.
Fuck yeah, brother.
You and Mike's on the same page. Mike's been mad at him since the Truman era, since the Truman administration. Still Loyal says this. He says draft is going to be awesome, I hope. Absolutely. Absolutely jam-packed, but absolutely awesome. Biggest event ever. Not even sports-wise. Biggest event ever in the city of Pittsburgh as far as people coming to town. Vegas says FSU Coles was nice. Lightning Rod says Mel Kiper has a very good memory. Right here. Ty says, I'm sorry. Steel Oil says Ravens fans are nervous. Right. The thing about the Ravens, they're not doing anything to make themselves better, Mike. If they don't have a good draft, I'm sure they're going to get something. But at the end of the day, I mean, come on. What have they done this offseason that makes them look like they're any better than they were last year? They lost a bunch of guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like Trey Hendrickson is not the answer on that defense. They did upgrade. They lost their center. They lost a guard, but the guard that they got was an upgrade over the guard they had. But like you still have a gaping hole at center. You have gaping holes at wide receiver. You got some soft guys in the secondary. Your D line's in shambles. They have a lot of work to do, and I don't understand how they can be so confident.
I agree. That's just the Ravens. They are always confident, Mike. And you know what? That doesn't bother me because, again, I do respect that franchise. I do respect that team. And as confident as they are, the Pittsburgh Steelers, as bad as we've been over the past 5-6 years, we have managed to accumulate 10 wins in the last 12 games against the Baltimore Ravens with their MVP quarterback, and they're predicted to win the division team and their team. So again, at the end of the day, I'm not worried about them. I'm never worried about them. I do respect them. I think that it's dumb not to do that. But at the end of the day, Mike, I don't worry about Baltimore. I never have. I never will. Even when from year to year, you just didn't know. When Flacco was there, and the teams, and they had the Super Bowl squad, and we had our Super Bowl squad. It's just, again, I'm not afraid of them.
No, like you knew going into those games with those teams, it was going to be a dogfight either way. It was going to be a damn close game. But hey man, we had Ben, they had Flacco, and Ben was better. So for the most part, it never worried. Even with they have Lamar, like he might be able to tear up the rest of the league, but we have his number. And we'll see. Maybe with a new coach down there, something will give. But my God, Tomlin knew what Harbaugh was going to do, and we were able to beat them.
And the thing is as well, Mike, with the Ravens, they are so respected. They're very similar to the Steelers. They built their whole entire organization to compete with the Steelers in the division. It's no joke. It's no secret. It's what they do. It's the writing's on the wall. So at the end of the day, when you lose to them, and it's been very rare lately. They've only beat us twice in the last 12 games. I don't necessarily, you hate it. You don't want to lose to the Ravens, but you don't hate it because, again, you do respect that organization. You're like, you know what? We're going to take a loss to the Ravens every now and then. I'll take that. And then, obviously, you look at the game, you break it down individually and see what happened, and then you get into that. But at the end of the day, Mike, when you do lose to this team, there's so much respect between the two. I don't hate it as much as, let's say you lose to the Bengals. Like, you lost to the Bengals. That's one thing. Losing to the Ravens, Mike, again, neck and neck with the Steelers, any way you slice it, like it or not, it is the way that it is. So whenever we do lose to them every once in a while, it's like, all right, you lost to a respectable team. You lost a respectable game. And, see, there it is. Steel Oil says Ravens are 3-10 against us in the last 13 games. Let's call it the last 12 games and go 10-2. for the Steelers. But you know what? Same point, Mike. So at the end of the day, if you lose to them, and you're going to lose to them, they're a division team. They're your rival.
Yeah, it happens.
So I don't hate it. I hate it, but I don't hate it. I can certainly respect it.
Yeah.
Let's jump back on the board here. We are rounding third on the show. I'm going to go right here. Lightning Rod says Mel Kiper has a very good memory. Steel Loyal says Ravens fans are nervous right now. Ty says fill the needs and best guys at each pick. Lightning Rod says I can't remember so many college football. And that's the thing. College is constantly. It's a constant turnover. So, if you have a favorite pro team, you learn your guys in any sport, Say you like the Dodgers and they have Ohtani. That's your team. That's your dude. But in college, it's a constant turnover. That's why college is tough. Not everybody gets into it like they do the pros, but don't get me wrong, they do have their share of fans as well, especially down south. The South loves college football. Let's look at right here, Vegas. Vegas says this. Lightning Rod says hundreds of names. Vegas says Mel grows his hair to look like the robot Tweaky on Buck Rogers. I don't recall, but you know what, Vegas? Hey, it sounds funny, and I take your word. Steel Loyal says all respect to the Rat Birds, but fuck them. That's where I'm at, Steel. That is exactly how I feel about Baltimore. And again, how can you not respect the team that built themselves in their organization to be just like you to compete in your division? I mean, that's the biggest form of flattery, right? Imitation. So at the end of the day, I agree with you 100%. Those words ring true. Very true for me. Steel Loyal says all respect to the Rat Birds, but fuck them. I couldn't have said it better myself. Lightning Rod says this. He says, I agree, Tyrone. Vegas says, I'm still mad at Brent Musburger for what he did to UNLV versus Oklahoma in the 1984. In 1984, and Neil for his Super Bowl effort. There's this. Let's go here. Steel Loyal says, yeah, that sounds better. and I probably came across that at one point as well. Steel Loyal. I was probably 3 and 10. Oh, let's go with the 2. Give them 2. Screw them. They do it to us. As they booed Ben Roethlisberger in his last game. You remember that when they put the big video on the board, Mike, the last game in Baltimore, and they booed him, and Ray Lewis told him to beat up Steeler fans in the bathroom. So at the end of the day, F them. But I do respect the franchise.
Fuck them.
Tyrone says, when them shit Rat Birds, Lamar knows, not throw JPJ away. You know what? Even what's her face last year? Like Pierre had that big interception against his cousin Lamar Jackson.
Yes, he did.
So if you don't, if you're not safe throwing Pierre, you're sure safe. Probably not going to be throwing to JPJ. Maybe JPJ get a nice pick, and I think he had a pick against them the past OBJ.
Yeah, it was his one of his first games in the league. First game he started or some shit. Yeah, it was his rookie year. Press man coverage. Yep, in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Vegas says, so we won the offseason. We're doing good. It's looking good, Vegas. Again, you got to be happy with what's going on as far as what we've done this offseason. They're all things that are going to make us hopefully better. So to say we won the offseason Super Bowl, one could argue. But at the end of the day, I think overall it is as good as it could probably be. And we'll see how things go in just 16 days in Western Pennsylvania when the draft, in fact, does come to town. The stage is looking good up there. Mike, it's crazy to me how long it takes to build that big, elaborate stage. I've never wondered or thought twice about it when it was in Chicago or Green Bay or Kansas City or any of these places. But now that you're seeing it firsthand, Mike, such a big stage. They've been building it for about a half a week already, and they're still a couple weeks out. So a big production up there.
It's huge, and God, it's going to be a sight to see. I can't wait for the draft. 16 days away. It's going to be a fun atmosphere, a party atmosphere. It's going to be a damn good time down there, man. Even you can't make it down there, man. It's going to be. I have a feeling you're going to be able to feel the energy. Well, once they pan out to the crowd, and you see all those, not just Yinzers, but the entire NFL nation together. This is like what time fans from every single team can come together and party and celebrate football, talk shit on each other.
I just hope it doesn't end up stupid, because there's always an idiot in the crowd. There's always somebody that causes a problem.
So far, there really hasn't been anything, but it would be in Pittsburgh.
I think something happened.
What you say about the Mon? Not down here. You respect the Premier Brothers.
They can't get through a Saturday night on the South Side without having a shoot. I hope it goes well. I hope there's no bad incidences, and Hope everything goes good. Just for the sake of people, let's go to right here. Stringer says this. Here's something Bengals fans and Steelers fans can agree on. F the Ratbirds. And Stringer also follows up by saying, I think the Clowns fans would agree as well. Probably more than anybody, the Clowns fans. We have, I'm not scared of Baltimore and Cincinnati. They tend to get their wins against Baltimore too at the end of the day. Cleveland, though. It's their team. They took their team. They ran to another city and planted it there. I would be furious. And I would hate Baltimore more than anything else if I was a Cleveland Browns fan. I really would.
I would too. Fuck them, though. But fuck them.
And you know what? It gives the Browns a fan to have a reason to have a rival, where they're always trying to rival with us. Oh, the Steelers this, Steelers that. The Browns ain't anything to us anymore, especially the franchise or the expansion Browns. Maybe the old Browns. But Mike, this 1999 team, the team that started in 1999 in Cleveland, I don't have any rivalry with them at all.
Me either. No, we've owned them since they came back into the league.
You know what? They had a couple years for the past couple good years, and they beat us. They split the season. They even beat us in the playoffs. But come on, last time they did it was 1988. They haven't finished ahead of the Steelers since, again, 1988, all the way up until that year they beat us in the playoffs. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. He says, yeah, I never had a problem with Bengals fans. It's mainly the Browns fans and Ravens fans that are, you know what? Bengals fans are actually pretty cool. Anytime I've gone to Bengals games, I've had good experiences.
Same.
And Browns fans and I know Browns fans and Ravens fans are they're the obnoxious ones. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Bengals fans have been all right. Let's go right here. Lightning Rod says that's Steel Loyal. Wow. Ty says his first pick was against Lamar strapped out. Yes, and back in the right hand side of the end zone, if I'm remembering right.
Mm-hmm.
Steel Loyal says I remember that, Ty. 16 days, Lightning Rod. That's right, baby. 2 weeks, 2 days. 2 weeks, 2 days, and tomorrow it's 15. So come on, guys, it's gonna be here before we know it. Let's go here. Vegas says cheese, spaghetti, and chili equals a 3-way in Cincinnati. Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Peaches will be giving Derby a celebratory strap-on stabbing. Where is Peaches anyway? Can we confirm this?
Oh, that is great.
The Lightning Rod says, going to take a nap before working night shift tonight. Over and out, my brother. Always great seeing you, Lightning Rod. Hope to see you next time.
Dude.
Have a great day at work. Knock it out. We are just 16 days away from the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, guys. So much going on throughout this week. Couple things before we do get ready to wrap it up. Let me grab a couple more of these comments as they are coming in. Stringer says this: the expansion Clowns have gone through 42 starting quarterbacks in 27 seasons. It's truly incredible what's going on up there. It's unbelievable, Stringer. Look at us. We're able to enjoy Cincinnati fans and laugh at the Browns fans. Can you imagine enjoying Tater's company?
No.
I don't think I've ever enjoyed his company once since he's been in here.
Me? No, not really.
Ty says, peace. Y'all did it again, my man. Thank you, sir. As always, Ty, always great seeing you, my friend. Tortilla says, say all that food too loud. Kaboli will come back, guys. A couple things before we do get ready to wrap it up. Mike, the Pirates back at it tonight, trying to rebound from that loss. They were on a 5-game winning streak into this Padres series. They lose yesterday, but Paul Skeens back on the hill tonight, Mike. Hopefully they could turn this thing around, split the series, come back for game 3 tomorrow with Mitch Keller on the hill in the afternoon. The Pirates coming in with their 6-4 record after 10 games, playing winning 60% of their games so far. Hopefully they could keep that up, keep moving in the right direction. Also, the St. Louis Battlehawks are traveling to Dallas tonight, Mike, in the UFL. The UFL Week 2 is wrapping up tonight. That game is 8 o'clock if you're trying to watch a little American football. Tonight, again, the St. Louis Battlehawks traveling to Dallas, 8 o'clock tonight. Buccos, 6:40. What else we got going on here, Mike? I do want to say, what do I want to say? I want to say this. give our friends a little shout out, a little love. The people at Duquesne Pilsner. If you like to have a couple beers to take off the edge at the end of the day, or maybe for the big game when it comes time for the weekend, people at Duquesne Pilsner certainly go out of their way to help us and do promotional things for us, and we like to return some love back to them. So if you guys can swing over, one of two things: stop and grab yourself a 6-pack or a 12-pack, now available at Giant Eagle, or get a case wherever Duquesne Pilsner is sold. But if you don't like to drink beer, because I know a lot of people, there's people that don't like to drink. I get that. But at the end of the day, if you don't, swing over to any of their social media, show them some love, hit the like button, hit the follow. It'll all help them guys out. And we couldn't appreciate it more. They do all they can to help us out, guys. Check them out. Duquesne Pilsner, Mike, we always have it in our studio here on tap, made right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Also, Mike, speaking of social media, swing by and check out the Two Dum Yinzers. Hit the follow button and keep up with what's going on with the Two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. You can check us out at Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by and hit the follow button. Keep up with what is going on from day to day. And if you haven't had a chance yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like button, the sub, the share, the comment if you haven't already. It all helps out in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see what else is going on the terrible board here. I don't want to leave anybody out today. Steel Loyal says that's impressive, actually, at Stranger. Stranger says about the quarterbacks and the clowns. That's incredible, actually. Vegas says Stage Builders Union famous for making a 2-day job take a week. That sounds right, but it's looking good. It is looking good. I can attest to that. It's going to be huge. The stage is huge. No wonder they had to take out 100 or whatever it was, 100 trees. Mike, you remember this about a week and a half ago. People were kind of up in arms. We got to take out a bunch of trees to build the stage. But once you see how the stage is and you realize where the trees were, it doesn't make sense not to. Matter of fact, you wouldn't be able to put the stage anywhere else. So it's looking good. Again, guys, just 2 weeks from this coming Thursday, 16 days away from the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh, PA. Very exciting, Mike. A lot of people coming to town. And they're also saying these people that with the buggies, you know how the guy rides, like it's like a rickshaw in a way.
Yeah.
And the guy rides on his bicycle and puts the people in the bug. It was saying these people are going to make a freaking killing, nonstop work, transporting people around here to there to everything. 800,000 people. So Pittsburgh is getting prepared. They're embracing, Mike, because this is going to be a big weekend. No two ways about that.
Oh, it's going to be huge, man. And yeah, the little dude with the rickshaw is going to be making shit ton of money. We got a lot of money made down there. Yeah. Maybe Aunt Peaches will be down there making some money.
Maybe. Aunt Peaches makes money, so you know what? I'll have my eye open for her. Believe me.
Derpy will have something open for her.
And
Caboli will definitely have something open for her.
Yeah. He eats with his ass open.
That might be the best line ever.
That is possible MVP material. Again,
that's going to go up into the rafters.
Yeah. Lemieux 66.
Crosby 87. He eats with his asshole open. Just right
Roberto
in the middle.
Clemente 21. Franco Harris 32. Mark Caboli eats with his ass open. Good stuff. Classic stuff.
Oh, fuck
Mike,
yeah.
Today we talked about the draft. We talked about, of course, the off-season program starting today for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Joey Porter Jr., a bunch of different things as we were getting close to the draft. Mike, what's your thoughts on today's show?
Going back to the receivers, man. I'll be very disappointed if it is David Boston in the first round. I forget who said it. May have been RB or Somber. So. Someone said that you can get Malachi Fields later in the draft, and they're like the same guy. Yeah, I'm not big on Denzel Boston. If it was David Boston, sign me up in a heartbeat. But no, I'm all about Omar Cooper Jr. He's my guy. If we're going receiver in the first round, I'd love to have him because I think he's a better playmaker. We got our big body guys. Now this is someone who can be the playmaker, get the ball in his hands and let him do what he needs to do. I think that's the route to go if you're not going to go offensive lineman in the first round.
Very interesting. Very interesting with that. Guys, we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. We do again have Buccos tonight. We have UFL tonight, and we are just a little over 2 weeks away. So we will be into all that stuff, guys, including that NFL draft just 2 weeks from now. Unbelievable. 2 weeks, 2 days. Pittsburgh is going to be a madhouse. No two ways about it. What is going on, Mike? Is there anything that I'm seeing messages going back and forth between the guys? Is there anything? Because I seen RB saying he has a RB is saying, what did he say?
Oh, and it's something we can talk about off air.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I'm seeing messages shooting back and forth. I'm seeing your name. I'm seeing
no.
RB.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. It's something we can talk about off air.
All right, sounds good. We'll do that. Let's see. Let me get back to where I need to be here. But yes, we will be back tomorrow at our regular time, guys. We hope to see everybody tomorrow. But you know what I didn't do today, Mike? I didn't celebrate. I always do. Let me find it if I can before we do leave. Here we go, because it's Titty Tuesday.
Madam, I request that you immediately send me pictures detailing your beautiful bosom in support of the national holiday known as Titty Tuesday.
Titty Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, whatever you do, whatever way you slice it, Tuesdays are good. We'll be back tomorrow for Hump Day. Get back into it. Guys, we hope to see everybody then. Again, Buccos, UFL, everything Steelers coming back tomorrow. A couple more messages here before we go. Let me go right here to Somber. I feel good about us filling out the wide receiver room. There's so many options. I do too. Take care, Gents. Somber, my man, everybody as well. I do want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. I want to say thank you to everybody in the terrible board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show, and you are the lifeblood of this show. I always say that. I always mean that. I go on and tell everybody about you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do on the board. You are amazing. And I also do want to say thank you to everybody at home listening. Maybe you're in the car, the gym, the job, wherever the case may be. If you are listening, we want to thank you too. Mike, as I was saying, we will be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. Tomorrow is Hump Day, and that'll just be one day closer to the NFL draft. Again, just 16 days away. Anything before we take off for the day, Mike? Any comments? Anything I missed? Anything that I should be saying?
Nah, man, we covered it all, man. It was a great show. The board was on fire today. A lot of great comments going on, man. Kept me entertained. I hope we kept you guys entertained as well, man. It was a good one, brother.
And it was an AFC North weekend, Mike. A day. We had the Bengals, we had the Browns in the house.
Yeah.
No Ravens, Mike.
No Ravens, thankfully.
Thankfully. But guys, that's going to be it. Again, we thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow, our regular time, to get into all this stuff and so much more. Hopefully, maybe some things will happen between now and then, Mike. Maybe a surprise signing. Who knows? You never know in this offseason. It's flying by, about halfway through. We're almost there, guys. We're getting there. We're certainly getting there. Mike, I'm going to come around to you one more time. Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, my friend, I want to say thank you to everybody. We hope to see you back tomorrow. I hope everybody has a great day. For Chop, for RB, for Finch, for Derpy, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.